All right, guys, welcome back. Captain Kuba here, and I got for you another one of these like Hangout community live streams. These ones have been very fun. I usually host them like whenever there's a lot of stuff to talk about, obviously, and you know, obviously there's still a lot of stuff to talk about. Look, it's very unprecedented. I knew that this Faye game. I didn't know, but I was very sure that we would most likely get an announcement of this game on the PlayStation State of Play, but I didn't. I'm still recovering from the fact that it was 20 minutes worth of new footage. The whole intro, arguably one of the most important moments in this. It might even be the most important moment in the story because it sets up the whole story. And we got that, and like I'm still, I need to pinch myself because I'm like, was this real? Did this really just happen? I can't believe it. But we got some things to talk about, I guess. I will say though, like the first portion of, as always, I mean, last time it wasn't, but the first portion of the live stream is going to be members only. So if you wanna join, you just gotta become a member. You know, that's it. That's I know a lot of you can't. That's why I will make it available like at the 1 hour mark for everybody else. But you know, it's a good way to support the channel, and you get some pretty cool perks on it. And I just realized Goldening can testify to this. I don't know if I've always had this this feature since it became available, or they gave it to me because I recently passed like 100 million views, which by the way, thank you for that. But I got a new feature, and it gives me the ability to actually send voice messages to comments, right? So I'm thinking of every once in a while, like instead of like replying with text, I'm thinking of replying with a voice message to the members. You know, I'm not gonna promise that it's gonna be every single time, you know, because that's not feasible. But that is something that I'm gonna be like giving the members as well. But it's something cool that I just noticed, or I was just given the access to it, but it's cool nonetheless. You know, I can absolutely testify it was awesome. Yeah, we just saw it. I was about to reply, and I noticed in the keyboard that it had a little like, look, it kind of looked like the Spotify symbol. I'm like, is that like a voice recording thing? And I clicked on it, and it gave me 60 seconds to it. Oh wow, this is such a cool feature, man. That's such a cool feature, man. But Daddy's Key was home from milk. I gotta milk this, bro. I gotta milk this shit. I don't even know if that's what you were talking about, but it's we're not gonna be eating good for like I don't know, man. Like we're eating way too good, especially me, because if you saw in the thumbnail, the new Doom the Dark Ages game the new Doom the Dark Ages DLC got announced, and it's something I have been waiting for since I played Dark Ages, and I'm so happy that it got announced. I was not expecting that, and ideally I would be making a breakdown thing for this announcement as well, but you know, the Faye thing just kind of takes a lot more priority right now, and I have so many. At least at the moment, I have 2 videos that I want to get out, and again, all of this is coming out at such a bad time for me because I'm in the process of moving once again. So I think, realistically speaking, I only have this week to maybe make these 2 videos that I have like in my mind right now, and it's a tight schedule. Not gonna lie, it's a little bit tight, because then, for one thing, we're going to you guys are gonna think I'm messing with you, okay? But we're gonna have to move back to my in-laws for a little bit, for like a week or 2, maybe 3, and then we move to Canada again. So it's just like, it's this multi-step moving process that is just stressing me out, you know. And I know, for one thing, I forgot to say, I have not watched the Doom the Dark Ages DLC announcement yet, so I was hoping we could do it here. I have been dying to watch it, but I was making the Faye breakdown video. I'm like, no, this needs its own reaction, but it feels kind of weird to not do it in a live stream anymore, you know. So I've been waiting to watch the reaction, to watch the trailer with you guys. But I did notice that the release date is July 7th, and I'm so sad because it kind of falls into that window that I might not be able to play it right away, and I'm dying to play that game as well. But anyway, something else I need to say. If you notice here in the chat, it's I got a Q&A going on, and it says, what's your favorite God of War Laufey theory that you've heard or that you've come up with, right? And this is like for Q&As, and I guess technically this counts. But I wanted to like use it in after we watched the Doom the Dark Ages trailer, I want to like read some of your theories to see what you guys think about the game and stuff. You know, it's just excited. This really does feel like pre-Ragnarok hype era, you know. So I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited that that I'm part of this community right now, and it's been very fun, you know. Will I try to invite representative? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Will I try to invite representatives from Santa Monica to Pot of Cast again, like you did in 2021, to talk about the game? I'm assuming the 2021 podcast you're talking about is the Eric Williams and Corey Barlog interview, right? I didn't invite them. They actually sent me an email asking me, "Hey, would you be interested in doing an interview with Corey and Eric?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I jumped on that opportunity, right? And with this announcement, I did try to reach out to Santa Monica, but I forget what the actual answer was, but it was something that they got something with PR that they're very like, I don't know. I'm not gonna give you like the wrong response, but essentially it doesn't seem likely that I'll be able to get an interview right now. But they said that they will consider me for when they're doing that. I think that it was mostly like a control. It was for the most part a control announcement. I mean, it's always gonna be a control announcement, but they announced the thing and then they went back to work. You know, like I think they had one IGN interview with Corey and Ariel. But that's about it. And they just went to back to work. So I'm not mad or anything. I understand that if they can't do it right away. So hopefully in the future we can do that. Maybe when the game comes out. I don't know. Holy shit! Mohammed's back, bro. Oh my, bro. Mohammed just freed a lot of you guys from the pits of Tartarus, man. This guy rocks. Look at this, man. This guy is like, I free you, my children. I free you. Look at that. All of you guys are. How many was it? Was that 50? It was 50. Holy goddamn! I don't know why the southern accent, but whatever, you know. Thank you so much, Mohammed. You're awesome as always, man. I appreciate the support for the channel. You rock, man. We got Auntie. It says, Kuba, I'm really not bugging. Go to the official Laufey trailer 7.35. You will hear a Calliope flute-like theme. Thank me later. Okay, 7.35. This is what... Okay, we were originally going to be watching the Doom the Dark Ages thing first, but we can talk a little bit of God of War, because I get it. I still have to convince all of you guys to get into Doom. I get it. I haven't given Doom its due when it comes to the lore and that shit. So I get it. You guys want to talk about God of War Laufey? I get that. So we're gonna do that a little bit. And but then I do fucking want to watch the Doom thing, okay? Because I'm excited for that thing. Let me so 7.35 you said. 7.35. And I apologize again because I'm really bad. We talked about this last time. I am really bad when it comes to detecting music and shit. Like, it's just, I don't have the ear for it, but here it is. Here it is. I got it pulled out. So 7:30.
If there's another mask,
oh,
their path isn't safe. I have to find a way back.
Was that the port? Was that the one? Hold on. That one? The one that's happening now?
If there's another mask,
that one?
path isn't safe.
I don't know. I mean, to me, it doesn't sound like the Calliope flute right now. But again, it could just be me being completely tone deaf. Tone deaf, yeah. So don't get mad at me. I do hear the flute, but I don't know if that's Calliope, you know? No, not the in-law. I'm just saw Chronicler's video. Nah, the in-laws are cool. They're cool people. And again, I can't have my setup again, but it's just, we're only gonna be there for a couple of weeks. It's only just going to just gather ourselves, and then we move like fully. Like, this is not the true actual move, you know? Like, this is just like a temporary move, if you will, you know? Hey, Camby, welcome to the Spartans again, man. I appreciate the support, the long-held support. You are awesome, man. Thank you so much, man. If you think about the 20 minutes reveal parallels the E3 26 announcement. Wait, was that 20? That wasn't 20 minutes long, was it? I don't think it was, right? We do need to talk about the whole like time parallel thing, because I'm like, I feel like we might be misunderstanding something. God of War 2018 E3. Remember when E3 was a thing? So yeah, this is only... We'd have to watch it like side by side, but when it... So at the And for one thing, this doesn't really matter. Because, like, they've changed this level a little bit. This is not the canon level. This was just a demo of E3, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. But it would be interesting. We have something that I will have to do. That could be like a fun side video that's not too hard to do. That it's like you put the God of War, like you link both of them, and you see what's happening at the same time. That would be pretty fun. I can't believe I haven't done that yet. I can't believe I haven't done that yet, you know? If the music lines up with the hooded woman, it has to be Calliope. Well, I mean, the Calliope theory, the Calliope that the hooded woman is, Calliope, it's just a theory for now. It's an interesting theory, I would say. I made it myself. But it's just a theory for now, so we can't really consider it as canon. And that's why I also didn't add my discovery. I mean, what I think is a discovery in God of War 2018 of what I think is the every win, because I'm like, I still don't know. I get that vibe, but I don't know for sure, because people were like, "Oh yeah, what I think is a representation of the everyone in God of War 2018 has a pattern in the center, and that pattern is in the cube and Frank." And I'm like, that's an interesting connection, but I don't know if my theory is correct, so I didn't include that in the breakdown video, you know. But then again, I also did speculate quite a lot in that video. I guess I do want to. I don't want to, but I will probably spoil like the second video that I'm working on. And this one's not really a lore theory, but it's my belief, it's my personal theory that God of War Laufey is going to be the first true open world game in God of War. I just have this feeling, you know, it's a vibe, and I get it. I think there is some evidence there, but I just have a strong feeling that this game is going to be open world game. I can't shake that feeling. I can't shake that feeling, you know? And I'm not and this is not me. I kind of hinted at that in my breakdown video, and someone said, "Oh, this is a good example of you getting yourself hyped over nothing." And I'm like, I'm not necessarily hyped up about that. I'm not. As you guys know, I prefer linear games for the most part, but it is something that I'm like, Santa Monica is gonna trick us. They're gonna do what they did with God of War 2018, that they only showed like the first part to gaming journalists, and then at the end, like once you reach the Lake of Nine, it's like, oh wow, this is semi-open. They're gonna do the same thing with this Laufey game, and you're gonna have that Breath of the Wild moment where you go out of a place and you see the wide expanse of the world, and you're gonna be able to go a lot of places right away. I have a feeling that that's gonna be the case. I just do. I just do, man. Man, not raggy level design. It's not raggy. Raggy is semi-open. I don't think it's that. I think it's gonna be more like, sadly, I don't think it's gonna be like Elden Ring, as in like a true open game. Like, it's still gonna have a mainline story, obviously, right? But I think it's gonna be more like Horizon, probably. Like, you will have like side missions and all that stuff, but you will have a lot more freedom that you do in 2018 in Ragnarok. Hey, big SO401, thank you so much for becoming a Spartan, man. I appreciate it, man. Dude, this trailer was insane. Okay, do you guys want to watch it now? Do you guys want to get it over with? I get that most of you guys don't care about Doom. I get it, but hey, look. It's, let me stop it for a sec. It's two series that went different ways. You know, God of War went more the narrative way, while Doom kind of stayed very close to that gameplay identity. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with both. Let me turn off the music. But I haven't seen anything, and I've been wanting to watch this Doom trailer since it announced, because I was just working on the Faye video. But you know, here we go. I've been excitedly been waiting for this announcement, because I knew it was coming. And it's finally here. So let's do it. It's only two and a half minutes. So here we go. Let's get this over with.
Our flock has been led astray by your acts of
We got the con maker. Oh my god, we got the con maker, bro.
Argent and Nord trembles in the wake of your actions. They follow you now.
Alright.
Council has chosen. Beneath this chamber will be your tomb.
Oh shit. Was that the wretch? Was that the wretch that we heard about in Doom 2016? Was that the wretch?
This place is your pain given shape. It holds many secrets. Only a cleansed soul may leave. I am not your enemy. I am your way out.
Oh my god, bro, that's the wretch. That's the guy. I'm guessing that's the guy who made the Praetor suit in Doom 2016. I'm guessing that's him. And okay, I'm glad I didn't make a theory, because I had this theory for that guy that I'm like, oh, he's gonna be someone we've already known, but it's like, no, he seems pretty demonic. Although my theory could still fit in that. Let's wait on that. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. We got the Arms of Sparta in Doom Dark Ages now. We got the freaking spear mechanic. So far, so good. Oh, you can parry it back. Okay. I mean, so far, it's pretty good.
Slayer gone. Have you not found peace? The demons, they have retreated. Their war is with him.
No, what? Oh, what? We got the meat hook back. They found the way to bring the meat hook from Doom Eternal back. I can't believe this. Oh my god. It does seem a little bit slower though. Yeah, a little slightly slower. Oh my god, I'm sold. I'm sold. Wait, what's that? Is that the original Doom?
The Slayer is alive, and we're going to find him.
Wait, what? What? Okay, I did know that it was called Revelations. Oh my god, guys. Is that like back on Earth, like where he came from? I made a theory that it was possible that we might actually get to see how his wife and kid died in the original Earth that he came from. And now we're seeing like scenes like that are from like his world. Oh my god, that's so interesting. That's so interesting. I'm sold on it. This game could, I mean, this is just a DLC. This DLC could really complete the Doom the Dark Ages experience. Because I love Dark Ages, but I feel like it was missing some stuff, you know, and like it seems like we're getting that deeper connection to Doom 2016, and also like the gameplay seems to be a lot faster, a lot more, that it has a lot more variety. It's looking good. It's looking good. I'm excited. I'm excited for this thing. Definitely excited for Doom the Dark Ages. It's sad because again, it's coming out on July 7th, and I'm gonna be in the process of moving, so I really don't know when I'll be able to play this thing. But I mean, I will get around to playing it eventually. You know. Keep going. Hold on. There's more. Wait, what? Whoa, what was that? Who? He had like an energy hand? What was that thing? Like an Argent arm? It's, oh my god, he's doing the Praetor suit. Oh, I fucking knew it was the Wretched. I knew it. What is that? What is that? Why does he have like an Argent arm? Is it? God damn it, man. I mean, I have been waiting for this moment since Doom 2016. The whole backstory of how the Praetor suit was created. I have been waiting for it since Doom 2016. This could be big, because that was one complaint people had about Doom Dark Ages, that it just feel connected enough to like the other two Doom games. it feels like they're starting to do that for real in the DLC. Anyway, I'm excited for it. But anyway, I might have to buy it. I mean, you should definitely get into the Doom series. It's a different thing compared to God of War. It's a different thing these days, but it's equally good. It's equally good in its own right, you know. Quick question: are you interested in seeing a breakdown for this trailer? We might later. We might. Who did one? I'll check it out later. You know, it would be again if the whole God of War Laufey thing was not a thing, I would be making a breakdown for this trailer as well. Anyway, I gotta get to some super chats that I got sent before. Let me see. Damien, I think in some mythologies, if some mythologies run the Everywind realm, I think that are the Greek gods. There's a lot of them in there probably. Look, that is something that. Give me a sec, guys. I have to like make this whole thing colder because it's just kind of warm. Give me a sec. Give me 2 minutes. Anyway. All right, so this is something that Flasher actually, like, it was a theory that Flasher had. I think it was Flasher in the last community stream we did, right? And I've been thinking about it ever since. And that is a question of, you know, where do these gods come from? They died, but how did they die? And I was thinking, is it possible? Is it possible that Kratos did kill him? In that community stream, I said, it's not likely because it would happen off screen, but that's not necessarily like me saying like, no, it didn't happen, right? Because Corey, in the IGN interview, back when he released 2018, he said, yeah, that time in between God of War 3 and God of War 4, I wanted to explore the depths that Kratos went to, like just like rock bottom, like he hit rock bottom. I can show you. I think I have it somewhere. And I found it to be really interesting. And it makes me think, bro, are there more adventures in between God of War 2018 and hold on a second, reusable clips, I think. Yeah. Corey Barlog. I don't know if I have it here. I actually do have it in my other video. Okay, Captain Kuba. In one of my most like popular videos that I uploaded recently. It was in the give me a sec, guys. It was in this one. I showed it here. Which is funny. I was kind of right in this theory. I said that it was gonna be a prequel. Remember? I freaking said it was gonna be a prequel in this video. Do you guys not remember that? I want my dues, goddammit. Anyway, I showed a clip of Corey here. I think it might have been here. No?
I believe.
Give me a sec. It has to be here. It has to be here. The Norse saga. So what if it isn't then? What if God of War Egypt is actually a prequel story?
Did you have everything before the game of like how long this is after the last God of War journey we've seen? Like how much older Kratos
how long
is?
is this after the last game?
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Anyway.
We've been pretty specific throughout all of the development of God of War to not commit to a date or any time periods. Chronologically, it fits beforehand, but it is way more interesting to look back on that when you find out her power and control. If you find out who she is and you find out all that information first, this story doesn't.
It was right there. He was telling about the Fae game since then.
As well, right? This reveal and this sort of bonding between these two characters. But now, looking back on how he got there, that to me is far more interesting because now you feel like you totally understand.
Wait, did I not share it here?
You don't.
If Santa Monica, I guess I didn't share it here. Maybe it's later on. Hold on. Said before, everything is a misdirection. What might have seemed like Kratos combat, and I know the story of the fall.
A really cool story.
Yeah, there we go. It's here. Give me a sec.
3.
Yeah.
For me,
And as it turns out, Corey Barlog also seems to think this would be a good idea.
For me, I wanted an expanse of time from 3 to explore the rock bottom of Kratos, right? So that what happened before this is a really cool story, something that I've sort of laid the beats out for, but something we're not really talking about.
Sure.
So that when you kind of see that story as it folds into him arriving in Scandinavia and meeting Faye, all of that is a really awesome story.
I know this is what I'm talking about. What does he mean by the rock bottom of Kratos? What would Kratos define as being as rock bottom? I think Kratos as a character after God of War 3, what he would consider absolute rock bottom is him killing a pantheon like he did in God of War 3. And it makes me question, did he do the same thing he did in God of War 3 with other pantheons and he's just not telling us about it? Is that why there's gods in the everyone? Is that why? Because yeah, okay, mythological beings and stories die all the time. But there comes a point that those mythologies always reach like a stable point where it's like, okay, yeah, the primordials died, the titans died, but then in that mythology, the gods remain, and that's it. Like they remain forever, right? And it's the same. I think it's the same thing with almost every single mythology, right? But it's like, why are we seeing an Egyptian god here? Why are we seeing Bexi, which some people tell me that I mispronounce Bexi? I don't know which one it is. So why are we seeing all these gods? Is it possible Kratos had a lot more adventures in between God of War 2016 and 2018 that we don't know about, and that's the reason why these gods have made it here? I don't know. Hey, you should check out the Laufey trailer analysis from the channel Deep Dive Discourse. His theory on the sword at the end was really interesting. Okay, can you type that name? 401. Can you type the name of that video in the Q&A so I can go and look it up afterwards? Because yeah, I gotta get to a lot of comments here, you know. Oh my god, you're right. Because why other gods of war are in the everyone? Yeah, because it's Bexi, it's Sekhmet so far, it's gods of war. It's people who, if there's a pantheon killer on the loose, they are the first gods that you would send to deal with the issue. It's like, we're gonna send our best fighter, you know, to deal with the situation. But it's Kratos who we're talking about. He would kill those people, at least during that time, you know. Too many gods of war. Yeah, it's interesting. It could be a lot of things that we're not realizing yet, and it's just, I'm telling you, this is what I like the most about the Norse saga. It's this commitment that they have to an end goal that is like the story beats are kind of set out, and things might change slightly, but it has like a rigid structure, you know. There's not, you look at the Greek saga, and man, Deimos is one of those things that they've just been pushing around like until they finally gave him a story moment in Ghost of Sparta, right? But after God of War 1, you see him tease. Then in God of War 2, you see him tease as well. And then in God of War 3, that was the original story. And then in the phone trilogy, it wasn't until they made it for the PSP that I'm like, okay, this is the story. But the Deimos story changed so many times, you know. It's so many times that I'm not getting that same vibe from the Norse saga onwards, you know. And that's very exciting. You know. Dude, it's such a prime tier badass story. Sending literal murder gods to deal with a dude that murder gods. I love that story so much more. Well, I mean, that is one possibility. That is the flasher possibility, you know. And I do like it. I'm cooking and Kuba's eating. Yeah, you gave me a little snack last time, and I've been savoring that snack. Oh, did he kill them all? Is it possible? And maybe what I'm thinking, it's possible that this. I'm gonna get back to the other theory that I thought was really interesting. It's also possible that, you know, Santa Monica's playing it smart right now, and maybe that's not how they operate. I mean, they operate dumb. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, like, you know, they focus on the story, even if like they have to commit themselves to a vision that in the future fans not may like. And what I'm saying by this is, like, a lot of criticism that the Norse saga does have is that sometimes it doesn't feel like God of War, like that is like the original God of War, the blood and glory and violence and over the topness, right? That's fair, you know. Maybe they don't want to go back to that, but maybe they have designated a time period in the lore to just kind of keep it insulated from all the modern stuff that they're doing. To be like, okay, if we fail with with the current story, with the Atreus story, with the Laufey story, we could go to this small pocket that's a lot more similar to God of War 3 and the Greek saga, if you will, right? And it's that time period in between 2018 and God of War 3 and 2018 that Kratos was killing these gods. And it's like, that could be one way that they're doing it, but maybe not. I feel like that's more of an outsider's opinions on how they should do things, but I feel like they're committed to it, you know? But another theory on like the whole issue with the gods thing, because I do find it interesting. I do find it interesting that these gods are here. That if there is no lore, as to how they died, it's gonna be very suspicious. So the one theory is that Kratos killed them. Another view is that, yeah, there was some lore that we don't know yet, that in each of their pantheons, something happened in that pantheon that resulted in them dying, right? That's fine. That might actually be like the most likely out of all of them. But another one that I just find really interesting is the concept of time in the Everyone. That's something else that I've been thinking about a lot. And it really, how Ariel describes it, it really does sound kind of like the block universe. You guys know what the block universe is the concept of time, that there's no such a thing as past, present, or future. We experience it that way, but time as a whole, like all single events, are equally valid throughout. Throughout is a time. It's a time reference, right? Like throughout, right? But it's the idea that time itself, when you go into this realm, is different. Like it's happening outside of regular space-time, right? So what was, I actually had this in my theory in my breakdown video, but I removed it because I can't just say this because people are gonna get confused, and I'm just gonna remove it just in case, and I might make a video on it later on. But it's like, it could be interesting if the reason the reason that Sekhmet and Bexy are there, it is because Kratos killed them, but because he killed them in the future on his perspective. Like, he hasn't killed them yet, but because time itself, it works like the block universe and the Everyone, they're already there. So all the gods that are always going to die have always been there. And but then again, that does have a problem. That does have a problem because gods do arrive. So there is like a temporal, like, we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see here, because I get both sides. That it's like, yeah, it does seem like the block universe, that the time happens, past, present, future, is all at the same time, if you will. But it's also the fact that there could be like time that goes alongside the events of the Everyone, and that's how Faye is able to enter there, because Faye enters it at one point. You get what I mean, right? We got the Morse here. Let me get some water. Hold on. This is gonna be a very chatty stream, and my mouth is really dry already. Hey, I think you're onto something here. Kratos said to Atreus, "We are God's boy," and that makes us targets. It makes us a target from now until the end days. You are marked. Kratos was a target of someone. Oh. You know, I didn't think about that. Maybe we could be looking maybe you could be looking at it too closely now, and maybe it's like you're overdoing it. But it is interesting because Kratos was not a target in the Greek saga because he was a god. He was a target because he was dangerous. He was prophesied to be the marked warrior. So like, they start, and like, you know, he tried to kill Zeus in God of War 2. That little thing kind of affected how the gods view him, right? But it is interesting that he's talking about a time where it's like, oh yeah, he was a target. And it's like, why would he be? When was he a target exactly? That hadn't happened yet in the Norse saga, unless you count Baldur, right? But it's like, it's interesting that it could have been a time in between the God of War 3 and 2018 that he was being targeted by other pantheons, because he was the pantheon killer itself, you know. And it's a concept that I've always thought that was really interesting, exploring that idea that it's like all of these pantheons get together to kill the pantheon killer himself. I think that could be really really interesting, you know. A change of plans is like, look at how they announced remakes of the OG trilogy after Rising Kratos documentary made them sick. And what do you mean? A change of plan is like, look at how they announced remakes of the OG trilogy after Rising Kratos documentary made them sick and tired of that story. I don't think that was the message that I got from the Rising Kratos documentary. It was more like the hardship that was making God of War 2018. It had nothing to do with the Greek saga. The Greek saga was done. Like, they were working on something new. I don't know what You might have to rephrase it. You don't have to send another super chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't understand it, but just type it again and hopefully I see it, you know. So, but I'm not sure what you mean by that. Remember, Corey said as to how he got back in time, that's a story for another game. Is that the Faye game or Atreus game? If Snake does find Atreus similar, yeah. I don't know. We have to be careful now with the Faye game as well, because like it can become like the God of the Gaps argument, where it's like we're just like putting every mystery that there's in the God of War series, we're just gonna put it in there. We're just gonna put it into that Faye game, and everything is gonna be announced. But you're right. You do have to leave some things for. You have to leave some things for the Atreus game, because that's coming. Even though like it was originally part of the Blue Point Games thing, that is coming in the future. That there's no holding that back, you know. So there's that, you know. But yeah, like Moore says, he found Atreus familiar because he met him in Ironwood before Ragnarok. That too, yeah. Yeah, Jorn finding Atreus similar. Yeah, okay, yeah, you guys are responding to that. Yeah. Let me go check what the Q&A says. Let me see questions. Oh boy, that's a lot. Oh, that's a lot of theories. All right, we got one from Ferocious. He says, my personal theory is that Faye is on an obscure mission like Kratos in Chains of Olympus, where in this case she has to throw down with a few gods of war while seeing Kratos' past through other Greek gods. I mean, that's one aspect of the story. I saw Chronicler. I do think we're gonna. I think it sounds like we're definitely going to see Ares at the very least. That seems likely, you know. But what other gods are we going to see? I don't know. I don't want it to become too fan fiction, you know. But then again, this could be one strength of the open world. This could be one strength of the open world approach, if I am right, that they're gonna make it an open world game. And I'll have to give my main theory point for why I think. Let me go out of here. Let me go back to Big Face so you're not seeing the feedback. I have one piece of evidence for why I think this game might be open world, and I'll talk about that in a bit, you know. But if they're doing open world, it could be cool to randomly encounter, not randomly, like just have like places in the open world area where you just walk in and you come across a god. It could be from Kratos' past, it could be another god. That could be really cool. The strength about the open world approach is that you could give players that really awesome sense of adventure in the truest sense, because in the Greek saga it was there, but it was done in a linear way, which I still like, but you know, that's possible. Chronicler said, will we feed fucking gratitude finally? Hey, that's where all the magic returns, so it's likely, you know. I don't see that as not being likely. Let me get some water. And I do have to say that apparently I got something wrong in my breakdown video. People were making fun of me, and I'm like, yeah, this is the one thing I don't like about the everyone right now, that it's like it just becomes like this canvas, like this clean canvas for like theories. It could be anything. And I said, oh, look at this flying dog creature, right? And I should tell you that I have no idea. I don't know. I know practically nothing about Eastern mythologies like Chinese or Japanese mythology. I know close to nothing about them. I'm willing to say I know nothing about them, right? But people were like, yeah, that's the nine-tailed fox, you doofus. I'm like, yeah, that could be it. That could be like a nine-tailed fox. I don't know if there's many of them. I don't know if it's just one, you know. But I'm like, yeah, I feel like I got that one wrong, you know. So Chronicler, when you make that video, make sure you don't make the same mistake. I'm sure you weren't, though. We got by Deuceril here, okay? What if the two Kratos paradox from God of War 2 explains why Kratos could both have murder another pantheon and become a changed man? But I could be completely insane. I really doubt they do something like that. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like they kind of split. Well, I mean, I made a theory on like the whole two Kratos paradox thing, and I'm of the opinion that it's just kind of a plot hole. It's just kind of a plot hole in God of War 2 that they don't want to really think too much about. I think that other Kratos is completely gone. What you're saying is that Kratos came back to life again and then went a separate way, right? That there could be a future that could potentially happen, because I mean, it is Kratos after all. The only reason he came back in God of War 2 was because of Gaia, right? But he did come back in God of War 1, so he has the ability to fight his way back. So it would be interesting if they explored the idea of like, oh, this Kratos comes back, but when he comes back, Greece is destroyed. And who destroyed it? Himself? I don't know exactly how Kratos would react to that. I feel like he'd be questioning it. He's like, what is going on here? who is this guy pretending to be me? That could be it, right? But again, I think it has mostly to do with that being a plot hole. Like, it's just time travel. It's always gonna have plot holes, you know. But it could be interesting to explore. Not gonna lie, you know. I meant was that after Ascension they felt burnt out about God of War, and when I mentioned changes to the plan, I was referring to minor tweaks to ideas. What I mean, what I would have to read your comment again. Let me see. A change of plan is like, look at how they announced remakes of the OG trilogy, and after Racing Cross documentary made them sick. The thing is, I'm still like, it's like you're jumping halfway through. Maybe I said something that I'm forgetting, and like you're replying to that, but I'm not sure what your point is. I meant was that after Ascension they felt burnt out about God of War, and when I mentioned changes to the plan, I was referring to minor tweaks to ideas. Yeah, the whole like Ascension thing, I don't think it's that they got burnt out. It's more that people because after Ascension they started working on the sci-fi game. I forget what it was called, or if it even had a name. They started working on that sci-fi game, and that one got canceled. But it wasn't. I don't think it was because they felt burnt out with God of War. They thought that fans were burnt out with God of War, so they started doing something else. And then they got Corey to come back to the series, and that's when he started doing God of War 2018 and reinvented it completely. You know, I don't know if that answers your question. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure if you have a question, if you have a point to make. I'm not sure, and I'm really sorry because I feel like you're gonna send another super chat, and I don't want you to waste money if I don't get what you're saying. But maybe type your whole thought in the Q&A thing. Gustavo, thank you so much for bringing me a support, man. I appreciate it. Welcome, man. Read my comment, Poppy. Maybe that Kratos isn't the everyone because it doesn't matter at that time that he did. All that matters is that he's a god and he dies and went to the everyone itself. Well, I mean, that does make things a little bit interesting because when he died, that Kratos, when he died, he already had lost the power of being a god because it was in the Blade of Olympus, right? So that does make it an interesting question. It's like, did he go to the everyone? Was he a god? Technically, he is a demigod, so he has some supernatural abilities, right? But there is something there with him becoming a god at the end of God of War 1 that I think God of War 1, I guess, didn't make a big enough deal of it because they thought it might be the end of the series. So it's possible. It's possible that that's the case, you know. What about the sword? It looks Chinese because the pommel is made of a dragon, and it was randomly here near the cage. If it's important, that's another theory for the sword that people have. They think it's going to be like Chinese. It was blood here. Yeah, he said it right there. I've been saying it was a Chinese sword from the start, but no, Excalibur. Like, it's one of those things that House and Monarch is like making it seem is like they are kind of making it seem like it's Excalibur, at least for me, right? But okay, Blood. What is the Chinese sword's name? Let's look it up. Let me see if there's like some similarities. Of course, it's not gonna be exactly the same. Santa Monica takes many liberties with the mythologies, right? But what do you think the Chinese sword is? Okay, give me. You know, we also have Rue, who has more of an English accent, so it kind of goes again with like the whole King Arthur story. Just saying, you know, just saying. And then we have that medieval looking castle as well. Just saying, there's things there that I'm like, could be. And you guys mentioned the dragon thing, but it wasn't. I forget how the King Arthur story starts, but Uther Pendragon or something? Let me look that up. Give me a sec. Yeah, so Uther Pendragon, I think it's also known as King Uther, was a legendary king of the Britons after King Arthur. Okay, man. What was I just reading? And father of King Arthur. I don't know if the dragon thing has anything to do with it. Maybe that's just his name. I'll shut up about it. I also don't know a lot about Arthurian mythos. I know a little bit of them, but not a lot, you know. So if Arthurian mythos are mixed into all this thing, it is gonna be good for me, like get a refresher on it. And there's also the fact that Tides of Annihilation is also coming out, and that's also like Arthurian mythos based. So I'm interested in that, you know. According to most sources, Hindu, Chinese, and Egyptians are ranked as top 3 myths. How do you think Santa Monica will show them being far stronger than Norse and Greeks. According to most sources, I mean, what sources are these? Hindu, Chinese, and Egyptian are ranked as the top 3 myths. How do you think Santa Monica will show them being far stronger than Norse and Greek? I mean, look, I don't really get too much into the whole power scaling topic in this series. I don't find that very interesting. I'm more interested in the stories themselves, how they do it. I don't think Santa Monica is also into like, oh, now this one's stronger, right? That is a problem that I feel like the Doom games have now. That it's like you always have to kind of keep going up, like in a challenge for Doom guy, right? And it kind of becomes meaningless. I think Santa Monica is interesting in adapting mythologies depending on what they can do with the story. I don't know if that's a question they're asking, like, oh, this is the strongest pantheon, because that's not the other side. Kratos' might is not the thing they're interested, the only thing they're interested in exploring, right? That was more of a Greek era thing, you know? Okay, hold on. I don't know, but I played enough of a lot of For Honor and seen enough Asian martial arts movies to know that the aesthetics of a Chinese sword when I see it. There you go. Okay, so you don't have like a full on theory as to, hey, at least we have a famous sword, you know. And I don't know. I don't. The green guy that seems to know the sword does not look Chinese. I'm sorry. Okay. If anything, he looks more European, like Mimir with the horns. And I wonder if that's going to be Merlin. I wonder if that's going to be Merlin, because that was one of the rumors about the Fae game, that the sword was going to be called Merlin. But it could have been one of those rumors that people got wrong, and Merlin is going to be part of the game. It's just not the sword. Maybe it's the guy. And if it's Merlin, I'm pretty sure it is it is the Excalibur. Okay. We got Suraj Jamat 1994. Thank you so much, by the way. Let me hit like. Tuzka blade contain a sealing soul power. Let me look that up. These streams are also important because I get to learn other mythologies with you guys. Well, Suka. Oh, it is Chinese, right? It's a sword? Oh, sword of... is an ethereal sealing weapon wielded by Ichi Uchiha and the... man, I'm messing his names up. In his Susanoo form, inspired by Japanese mythology. Is a variant of the sword... here, I'll show you guys. Yeah. This is what that says. Inspired by Japanese mythology, it's a variant of the sword Kusanagi, sheathed in a snake jar where the blade itself is composed of liquid that materializes upon use. Its primary power was permanent sealing. Permanent sealing. Anyone pierced by the blade is drawn into the jar and trapped in a genjutsu world of drunken dreams for eternity. It is considered the offensive counterpart of the Yata mirror, which deflects all attacks, with the black Zetsu claiming their combination makes Itachi. Wait, is this not? This is a Naruto, is it? Is this racist? And I'm like, this sounds like Naruto. Itachi is like a Naruto character, isn't he? No, I think it's Kakashi, right? Kakashi? I don't know anything about Chinese mythology or Japanese for that aspect, you know. But it could be that. The thing is, to me, just let me see what it looks like. Yeah, you would expect it. If it was Chinese, you would expect it Chinese or Japanese. You would expect it to look more from that area, right? But it just looks kind of Western. The one in the trailer just looks kind of Western. It doesn't give me Chinese or Japanese vibes. The Chinese part, aside from the dragon is the only thing that could potentially be seen as being Chinese, you know? Not Naruto, lol. Anyway, Elefunk. Oh, that's a nice name. I like that. He says, on the promo art in the clouds, it looks like a lake plucked out of the earth and placed in the sky with surrounding trees and everything. Yeah, I mentioned that in the let me throw. I think it's here. I mentioned that in my breakdown video that I'm like, oh, you're probably gonna be able to fly to that using one of those like flying creatures, right? But it is interesting that it does look like something up there. I think it's here. Yeah, it's up here. How do I zoom in here? Yeah, you can see it, and you're right. This part itself looks kind of solid. If for a second it blends in with the clouds, but it does look different. It does look like it's gonna be a lake or something, and it's interesting. And look, this brings me to the point that I want to talk about. Oh shit, how do I make it normal? Yeah, let me just go here. This image, to me, just gives me open world vibes. It just does, man. Am I the only one? Am I the only one who gets like open world vibes from this image? Because the Norse saga is different in the sense that you do have exploration, but it's kind of lateral, where it's like you go to these points in the map and you're able to travel to another realm, and in each realm you have like little things to do. It seems like this is all we're gonna be getting. It's possible we might be going to these like worlds or planets here, whatever these things are. You know, it's possible because the telescope would be looking at those things, right? Excuse me. But this map just gives me open world vibes, that you're gonna be dropped here. Like you're gonna get that Breath of the Wild moment where she comes out of like a narrow path, and then you're just gonna walk here, you're just gonna see that world. And you will have a main mission on the map, like a marker or something. Excuse me, guys. You will have like a marker or a map of some kind. But if you want to, you can go here. You can go and explore what's going on here. Or you can go here. Or this little point here. It just seems so open that I'm like, I'm not getting linear vibes from this. I'm just not, you know. What do you know of Chinese swords, Kuba? I don't know anything about Chinese swords, I guess. No, I don't know anything. But you don't seem to know anything either, so I don't know what you're talking about. Captain Daddy Kuba is vibrating from excitement. No, I had some lunch before starting, and I'm a little bit gassy. Also, what's this thing here? I'll look that up. Okay, hold on. What is that thing? What is that? This thing looks here like a siege equipment. It doesn't look like just a house. This looks like a battlefield. Look at all the fire surrounding it and all the electricity. What's up with that? You know? Odds are on Ra or Wukong showing up in Laufey. Look, it's anyone guess for who we might see in this Fey game. It just has to be kind of consistent with the lore of what they're going to create. And it's like if a god's gonna be there, he had to have died. And that's the only way. Let me think. Let me read some of the other questions, not questions, but the comments that people have had about the theories that they like about the Fey announcement. So we got Goldening. He says, I think the mini pantheons theory can be awesome. I also like the thought of there being 3 or 4 gods of war in the Everywind. This allows a chance for Ares to be one of them in command. Yeah, look, the whole concept of gods coming back to life is just, I'm telling you, it's one of the coolest things that Santa Monica, one of the coolest concepts that Santa Monica has come up with, because you get a lot of, it could have a lot of dynamics in that world, because, you know, Ares is gonna make it there, but so is Zeus. And Ares and Zeus, the last time they met and when they were alive, they were not on the best speaking terms. So is there gonna be some conflict? Is it possible because Ares made it first into the Everywind that he's gonna get the upper hand, like he suspected? That I'm just coming up with this idea. Ares, what did he do? He created Kratos to destroy Olympus itself. So he gets to the Everywind and he's like, okay, I know my dad's probably gonna be next, and his brothers and cousins, all of those guys are coming back. Let me make sure I get a lot of power so that they are beneath me this time. I wasn't able to succeed in the world above, but what if I can succeed now? And like he goes on this power quest, and by the time that Zeus gets there, like Ares is the one ruling the pantheon. Couldn't that be an interesting concept? Come on, man, give it to me. Isn't that an interesting concept? I think it is. Man, I'm really thirsty today. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Watching breakthrough of the trailer. I mean, you mean breakdown? I had the feeling like Faye is Wraith Oh, from Prince of Persia, Warrior Within, trying to go ahead, lead Kratos' journey and Mask. Yeah, and that I think that's the thing that has sold me. That has sold me on the Faye game. This idea that she's trying to make sure the timeline is intact. There's like, no, I gotta clear the way for them because they need to do that. That's something that you really couldn't get in a Kratos game. It could still happen, but I think with Faye it's more interesting because she has this connection with time and seeing the future, right? It kind of, I forgot which Harry Potter movie that is, but there's spoilers for the Harry Potter movies, but in one of the movies they go back in time, and like you can see them, they're hiding from their past selves to make sure the timeline is not messed up or something like that. And it's like, I'm getting vibes in this Laufey game for that. I'm like, that's exciting because I love God of War 2. It's my favorite game in the series, but I feel like time travel itself was not that big of a deal. It was just a little obstacle that Kratos had to do to get his revenge. It's not like once he got the power, he's like, it changed him completely. He's like, yeah, I used it once, whatever, I'm gonna go kill Zeus now. Like, he didn't even bother with that, you know? But with this Faye game, I think we're gonna get that long overdue time travel story that I've been dying for a long time, you know? So I think it could be really good. Some people are giving me shit because like, how can you support this? This is not a Kratos game. And look, I get it. If you don't want to play this game because Kratos is not a part of it, I get it, you know. But how could I not be excited for this game? I'm someone who loves Kratos, but is also very much interested in the surrounding world of that, you know, that surrounds Kratos. I'm really interested in that. I've always wondered what led to the Persian invasion. What happened with Deimos in the underworld? I have these questions that are outside of the purview of, you know, Kratos as a character, that he could be used to tell those stories, but it would feel kind of forced. With Faye and the everyone, bro, like it could be such an interesting concept. I'm super into this, and I don't know, it could potentially be that the series is gonna get diluted. The identity of the series is gonna get diluted because how Cory Barlog talked about Sindri in the context of the Faye game, it sounded like there might be a Sindri game. I don't want to get you guys hyped up for a Sindri game, but I got the vibes that I'm like, are you guys making a Sindri game as well? Like, you guys want to explore Sindri as a protagonist? I don't know how that could work. You know, that one might be like a huge jump that not gonna make a lot of sense, you know. Mate, I had a simple observation. This can be. There are only 3 characters from my memory that die into glowing ashes: Athena, Thor, and Faye. Could that mean that the ashes they die from make them reappear in the Everyone? It is possible. I don't know. That's what we've seen so far, but you know, correlation does not equal causation, so we're just seeing that, but maybe that's just because like those are the only 3 gods that we've focused on. How Santa Monica's describing this realm is that every god who dies goes there, you know. Anyway, let me go and free everybody from the pits of Tartarus. I will have to put like slow mode on, so give me just a sec. You know, I'm mostly gonna be reading the your theories and stuff on the Q&A, so give me just a moment, okay? Anyway, I'll read this one in the meantime. I'm telling you, Santa Monica designed to look Arthurian to divert fans from the Eastern lores, like a bait and switch thing or twist in a story. I can see that. I can definitely see that happening because they do that kind of stuff a lot, you know. So I think it's that might be happening, but there's just a lot of things, man. There's just a lot of things that I'm like, man, is Arthurian mythos for real going to be something here? I don't know. I that green guy looks he looks European. You got that European looking castle in the promotional art as well. There's a lot of things that make me think that like maybe the King Arthur stories are coming in here, you know. So I don't know. I'm gonna continue reading the where is it? I forgot where it was. Oh, it's here. Faye was always the missing piece that Odin needed. That mask piece in her arm, once it was removed, it was when wait, let me read that again. Faye was always the missing piece that Odin needed. The mask piece in her arms, in her arm, once it was removed, it is when Baldur showed up at the cabin, signifying that he was protecting she was protecting them with the mask somehow. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. There's a lot of things. Morse and I were talking last night, and it's really funny. It's really funny the point that we're at. Like when it comes to discussing the lore of this game, we were arguing about, and it's gonna sound kind of random, but we were arguing back and forth about where and on which side of the bed Faye sleeps. Because an interesting theory that people have had about this game is that I'll show you. I think I've heard this theory. I've heard this theory since the game was announced. I don't think it was Morse's idea. Maybe he did have the idea, but I think I heard someone talk about it in the chat when it got announced. But one theory that people have had is that, check this out.
Kratos!
The theory goes that Faye wakes up thinking that she's in bed, back in the cabin, because she looks to her right, looking for Kratos, and then she looks to her left, looking for Atreus. I'm like, that's a really interesting theory. The only problem with that is that here, and this is what I explained, what I was trying to explain to Morse last night when we were talking about it. Okay, let's see, God of War 2018, Thor scene. Okay, this is when we see him go to bed. Okay, this is the problem I have with that theory. I love it, and I really wish it was true, but I think it has problems. You know, no, I understood your point. I think you did, but again, I've seen some people have this theory before, and I'm like, guys, I love it, but I don't think it checks out.
I'm gonna sleep through winter.
So we see them here go to bed, okay? And the theory is that when Faye wakes up in the everyone, it's because she died in bed, right? So she looks to her left. Yeah, sorry, I have to like position myself. So she looks to her left for Atreus, and then to her right for Kratos. But the only problem with that is that Kratos doesn't sleep on that side of the bed. He sleeps where Faye is supposedly waking up. It's one of those theories I'm like, man, that is cool. If it was true. If it was true, because he sleeps here. And Morse had the idea that, oh, maybe it's because after, and this could be possible. Morse had the idea that it could be possible that the reason Kratos is sleeping here, or is sleeping on Faye's side, is because she died, and now he needs to take care of Atreus. He wants to make sure that Atreus is safe. So he kind of moved to Faye's side. It could add like layers of dimension to Kratos. Oh, I miss my wife. You know, I'm gonna sleep on her side, right? But if we use Occam's razor, we have to say that so far, this is Kratos' sleeping side. This is how far we've gone with this Faye game, bro. We're analyzing where Kratos and Faye might have slept when they were together. That's insane, bro. That's insane. But I love it. It's super fun, you know? And where does Mimir sleep? Mimir sleeps on the bed, bro. Which is kind of gross because you have that open wound. I mean, it's not a wound because he's dead, right? But just open neck, just where they eat. It's kind of gross if you think about it, right? I just came, you're on fire, Cap. What the heck? Bro, we're talking about their sleeping sides on the bed, man. Because look, it is interesting. Oh my god. Faye actually died in bed? I'm having such a hard time, guys. Not spoiling my theory here. But there's so many little things. Stop ignoring the members. I'm not ignoring Flat. I'm not ignoring everyone, guys. I'm talking, okay? And I'll get to you guys. There's so many things here that are interesting. Why does she seem worried about Kratos and Atreus? Why does she seem worried about them? Why? Hold on a second. We'll get to it, okay? We'll get to it. Did she look at the piece of the mask already? I think, no, she hasn't yet. No, she hasn't.
Where am I?
Has she? A question. See, people when they often do a breakdown, they look at the things that are there, but I'm kind of noticing the things that are not here, or like the things that are a negation from the things we're seeing. And something that I find odd is, why is she surprised by this? It's like this piece of the mask is something that she's just learning about. You guys get where I'm going with this? You guys get what I'm going with this? These moments when she gets dizzy. Yeah, I mean, those ones I feel like it could be... I don't know if I mentioned in the breakdown, but I kind of hinted at it. But I think it could be like her... oh, if you watch a movie, Predestination, it's a really cool time travel movie. You get something like that you get kind of discombobulated because time is different now. Like she's so... And I think that has something to do with it. Like she's so used to like seeing the future that here it's like a EMP activate. Is it EMP? Enemy UAV online. No, I forgot what the Call of Duty one was. But it jams her radar, you know, and she's like, ugh. And that's cool, you know. That's cool, you know. Maybe Faye died too early. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. Look, in the breakdown I mentioned it. Faye is someone who foresaw her death. She knew that she was going to die. In Lore and Legends, I think it was Atreus, a couple of days before Faye dies, Atreus is like, Mom looks different. She's pale, like she's not as talkative anymore or something like that. She knew that she was going to die. But why, if that was the case, why is this her reaction? Why? Hold on. Why is this her reaction? And again, how does Faye die? I have a theory. It's actually like a two-parter. And I'm not going to make it into two videos. I'm going to do it in one. But it's two theories. I have one where it's the evidence. And one, what I think that they can do with it. You know, and I want to give you the first part so bad. I want to give it to you so bad, you know. Does Faye die from disease or something? I don't think it's a disease. Shut up, Kuba. Shut up, man. That she was using the mask. I don't think so. I don't think she was using the mask, bro. Okay, give it. Maybe make it a trilogy video. Nah, I think I can finish it in one, guys. Was she killed? I think something happened. I think something happened that Faye was not expecting. She thought that maybe she was going to die one way, or maybe she just knew that she was going to die but didn't know how, right? Maybe she thought that it was going to be like a peaceful death. But something changed and resulted in her death. And that's why she's surprised. That's why she's looking at the mess like, what is this thing? Why is this here? The story premise for this game is so fucking good, bro. Oh my god. I get the anger that people have with Frank. I'm on the same boat, man. I don't like Frank so far. But man, I don't know how people can be like, ooh, Faye. I'm like, look, I love Kratos, bro, but this is such an interesting story premise so far, man. They've got me. It has a hook, man. It has a really good hook. I don't want to talk about Ragnarok anymore. We're done with Ragnarok now, okay? That's in the past, okay? We can't change the past. Faye can, probably. Calliope killed her. I'm not gonna say anything. Woo. But I think it's a really interesting theory. I think it's really interesting, you know. She died fighting Odin, and that's how he got the part of the... Oh, I got an ad. Part of the mask. She was trying to hide the mask by absorbing it, but it broke. A piece got stuck in her head. Look, I do think... Hold on. No. I do think she might have been responsible for breaking the piece of the masks, you know, and spreading it across the realms. Excuse me, I just burped into the mic and I'm really sorry. It seems likely that she was responsible for doing that. But I forgot exactly when it happens in Ragnarok. I think it's when Mimir first sees the mask, or is aware that, oh, Odin's still on. What does Mimir say? Oh yeah, Odin has been faffing around this mask since I've known him. Doesn't he say something like that? Morse, can you corroborate that? Or Square Nation? I think Mimir says that, doesn't he? Can you verify for me while I read the super chat? And I'll get back to that, you know. In God of War Ragnarok, Angerboda mentions that she went against her people to change Kratos and Atreus' fate. Maybe that has something to do with surprise and death. I didn't think about that. But I mean, it seems to be connected to the mask somehow. It seems, because there's a piece of the mask in her hand. It seems to be connected to that, you know. It's two things that she finds surprising: her death and the piece of the mask. I'm willing, if we use Occam's razor, those two things are connected. And I don't know how you could connect that to the Giants so far. It isn't. I do think some interesting things did happen with the Giants, but I think that's going to get explored in the Atreus game. That seems more like an Atreus game, you know. Anyway, Moore says he does say that. There you go. I knew it was something along those lines, you know. That tells me that the mask itself has been lost for a long time, because Mimir gets captured by Odin. I think it's 100 years before the events of 2018. I'm sorry if I'm not getting the lore exactly right. It's been a long time, and I'm gonna have to like do a refresher. But what it means is that Odin has been looking for that mask pieces, for the pieces of the mask, for a long time. And that piece of information, if Faye broke it, you can say that Faye broke it. But what you can't say is that it took her hundreds of years to notice that, hundreds of years ago when I broke the mask, it seems I got a splinter. It kind of gives me the vibes. That the mask piece lodged in her hand happened very recently. And that's all I'm gonna say. For now. I might actually have not written anything about this theory. It's all up here. So I was gonna take a break today by just doing one more of a community thing like I'm doing right now. But tomorrow I'm gonna start typing it up, and hopefully I can record the script and edit down the script itself, because that itself needs, like, I need to cut out a bunch of mistakes that I do. So I'm hoping to do those two things, or those three things, tomorrow, and then the next day edit it as quickly as possible, so that then I can make the other theory that I want to talk about after I read the super messages. Okay, when Atreus got sick, Brock said, "What happened, Aesir?" And in the book, it talks about the ravens appearing just as the wolf packs started getting sick, right before she says she's pale and cold. So you think it has... let me read that again. When Atreus got sick, Brock asked, "What happened, Aesir?" Okay, that's one point. And then in the book, it talks about the ravens appearing just as the wolf packs started getting sick, right before it says she's pale and cold. I mean, it could be related, but I always took the whole, like, I'm gonna have to read it. What page is that? What page is that in Lore and Legends? Morse, can you tell me? I'll check it out. Let me get Lore and Legends, guys. Give me a sec. Where is it? Ah, god damn it. Alright, I got my Lore and Legends book here. I'm gonna read the other super chats, and then oh man, my ear hurts. Ow. Anyway, look up deep dive discourse breakdowns video at minute 6. That's the best sword theory I've seen. Okay, we'll look that up. Discourse God of War. We're not gonna watch it yet. It's this guy, yeah, deep dive discourse, and you said minute 6. Okay, so yeah, we're probably not gonna watch the whole thing because it is kind of long. But you said minute 6. We'll skip to that, and then we'll watch it in a little bit. Okay, let's skip to here. But thank you. I'll check it out in just a sec. Okay, let me read some of the other super chats as well. Hey Kuba, Alana Pierce, who was a writer on this game, said to look up what the everyone is in Aboriginal Australia. Whoa! Did she really say that? Did she really say that? Oh my god, Square Nation was right, bro. If Alana Pierce said that, oh man, this just made this whole thing a lot more interesting. Here, let me hide this thing because I don't know if people want to see. I don't know if people are okay with me showing their chats. Hold on a second. Because if she said that, I think she's isn't Alana Pierce Australian? I think she is, right? Maybe she's the one who came up with the concept, but here, I want to show you guys. God damn it, why is it taking so long to load? It's just Discord, man. If it doesn't load, I'm just gonna have to go and tell you exactly what Square Nation sent me. Here, in the meantime, I'll read the other one. I hope that Zeus appears in the game and that he is filled with nothing but regret, and Ares just wants revenge. Yeah, I don't know if you were here when we were talking about that, but I mentioned something about that it would be cool if Ares is the one that's in control now because he made it there first. I think that could be really interesting story-wise, a nice, interesting change of outcomes for the Greek pantheon. You know, I think that could be really cool. But hold on, I think. Yeah, I don't know why Discord is just taking forever now. Like, is Discord like having issues right now by any chance? Is there a problem with Discord that I'm not knowing? Yeah, I'm having connection issues. Yeah, you're not gonna do anything. Square Nation, I'm gonna have to summon you here. What was the thing? What was the exact quote of the native Aboriginal thing? Can you tell me what that was? You don't have to send a super chat. Just tell me like in the thing. I'll see if I find your comment. Is he even here? I don't know if he's here. My colleague thing? No, I don't think so. No. You mentioned something about Australian Aboriginal thing that talked about the everyone, didn't you? Am I wrong about that? Did you not? Was it not you who sent me that? Yeah, Discord is completely stuck. It's not responding at all right now. Anyway, I'm gonna go off of memory, but to answer the super chat, yeah, what it said was that the Aboriginal. Let me look it up. Let me actually. We can look it up here. Look up Australian native. Right. Yeah, everyone in the Australian natives culture. Let me look that up. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is the thing. It says the everyone is a term coined by Australian anthropologists that in the 1950s to describe the Aboriginal conception of time as cyclical or circular order where the past, present, and future are interconnected. It refers to the dreaming, a foundational spiritual cultural framework that is not a distant myth but a lived daily reality where ancestral creation stories, laws coexist simultaneously. The important word here is simultaneously, right there. And that's the thing that I'm wondering is like, okay, yeah, we see Sekhmet and Bexy in the everyone, and we think, oh, they came here before Faye did, and thankfully they did. But what if they were killed in the regular world much later? You get what I'm saying? That's something that you can probably do if you take like this block universe approach for the everyone. It's exciting, man. It's exciting. This is lore-wise is really interesting. Yeah, the everyone is actually known as the dreaming of dream or dream time. Is connected to the Utengard. The Utengard is Ymir's dreams according to Angrboda. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about the Jotunheim connection to it. Oh damn, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. I didn't even think about that. You know. Mike bugged for a second. Oh, it did. Oh, my bad. What were we gonna do before that? I forgot what we were gonna do. I got sidetracked. Yeah, I was gonna talk about my the other theory that I'm willing to spoil a little bit in here because this was not really a lore theory, and there's only 500 people here. Thank you, by the way. I really appreciate 500 people being here. Almost 600. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. But my theory for like this game, and I've said this before, it's that it's going to be open world. And there's one thing that I found really odd when the rumors were coming out about this game then I'm like, this doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. One of the rumors said that, mechanically speaking, or during combat, Faye will be able to freeze rivers and knock down trees. And I'm like, that sounds cool. But I don't know how you're gonna do that in a linear or semi-linear world, you know. It could be like just, you know, you freeze like streams like that are coming off from rivers and like little trees, right? But how it sounded is that it was gonna be a lot larger and larger scale. I'm like, that sounds more like an open world mechanic that you'll be able to be, Faye will be riding a horse, you know, and she'll see some enemies on the river and she's gonna be able to freeze it on the spot, like locking them in place or something. Or she's gonna like do like a force push and knock down a bunch of trees. This game, I feel like this game is going to surprise us. I think this game is gonna be open world game. The other thing that makes me think that is the length of time that it has taken to make this game. Why did it take so long? What has it taken so long? They could have, if they, I mean, the story did change probably, right? But if it's similar to God of War Ragnarok in 2018, I feel like they could have gotten this game out sooner, much sooner than they did, you know. That one's a little bit more contentious because like it could be because of GTA, like they didn't want to really deal with GTA. They knew that it was coming, so like, we're just gonna wait until the GTA comes out and then release our game, you know, because it's going to be open world and you can't really compete with GTA when it comes to open world, you know. But there's things in this game that I'm like, I feel like it's gonna be open world, and they're tricking us. They're getting ready to blow our minds in the game where we think it's gonna be linear, but then it's gonna truly open up, and there's gonna be mounts. There's gonna be like optional areas that you can go to. It could work, man. Because and the other thing is that this is gonna be its own franchise. It's a spin-off franchise within the God of War universe. It just makes sense for it to have a different identity. The linear games are going to be more for Kratos. But then the Faye games could be the open world games. I don't know what that means about Atreus though. He could also be open world, you know. The Loki dream before Ironwood were young Atreus. Oh, from 2018 is holding the mask. I always wonder what that was about. Now with the Everyone, I think the two are connected. Oh yeah, you're right. Like that dream sequence, like everything it is happening at the same time. Ironwood. Oh, I messed up wood there. Pain. Wow. Okay. Hey. I'm just saying. Please let us skip Ironwood. Hey, I'm just saying. I didn't look for Ironwood sucks. I didn't. It manifests itself. The anger towards this section of the game manifests itself, and it needs to be addressed. Cinema can't ignore this, bro. They can't ignore this, you know. What did I started crazy? What did I started crazy? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean, Damien. But anyway, let's look up at the section. Where does it start? Right? No, that's not it. Yeah, it should cover it here. It should cover it here. Yeah, he goes to sleep. And this is where things get all trippy and shit. Like everything is happening at the same time. Like he's seeing memories and stuff. I'm just curious, has Chronicler dropped his breakdown video yet? After this, we'll probably watch the Deep Discourse guy, okay? That is interesting that it was Kid Atreus, like when he was younger, going up for the mask. That is interesting.
Letter. I wish I'd known I was a god in Alpha. I wouldn't have felt so bad about killing so many elves.
What's going on? Was that a mask?
I mean, just knowing we're gods makes me feel so much stronger.
Where am I?
It's all you ever talk about, over and over. Do something about it or shut up already.
Little people's little
We're
problems.
sick of hearing about little people's little problems.
You can see Olympus in this sequence? Where?
And not nice ones.
You broke the gate. That was the only way to Yona.
Anyway, I've had enough of Ironwood. You get the point that like he's seen memories and stuff. So I do wonder if it's connected. I do wonder, you know. Anyway, so you guys wanted to watch. One guy asked me to watch this other YouTuber deep dive discourse, you know, about his theory regarding the sword in God of War Laufey. So let's see what his take is, you know. And if you liked his take on it, make sure to go look for God of War Laufey New Gods and Hidden Origins Exposed and hit like. Give the guy a like here. I'll do it prematurely. I'll just go ahead and like his video, you know, contribute to his views and stuff. So here we go.
Respective pantheons. Now let's move on to Laufey's allies. Frank the Cube might be a nod towards sacred geometry, the idea that certain shapes carry symbolic, spiritual, or cosmological meanings across cultures. Thematically, that fits a realm like the Everywhen, a place PlayStation describes as the birthplace and endpoint of magic itself. But the ribbon-wrapped sword is where this whole thing gets way stranger. Rey is officially described as an enchanted ribbon.
Is there audio? You guys can hear this, right? Yeah, it should be. Okay. Let me go back.
Is where this whole thing gets way stranger. Rey is officially described as an enchanted ribbon guardian tasked with keeping a devastatingly powerful sword from falling into the wrong hands. Now I couldn't find ribbon guardians sitting cleanly in any one mythology, so Rey by herself is kinda hard to place, but the sword, however, is not. On the hilt, Rey appears fastened near the mouth of a dragon-like figure. The dragon's body seems to run up the blade, wrapping around the steel like the weapon's not simply decorated, but restrained. And then there are the markings. And this is where I want to be careful, because the blade is blurry enough to turn research into astrology if you stare at it too long. The symbols don't cleanly read as any one language. But as a full set, the markings do have a visual neighborhood. They look closest to the world of Banji, or Saddam-style Buddhist seed syllables. And I say that not because I can read them, but because they seem designed to feel like isolated sacred glyphs rather than ordinary writing. And that matters because the rest of the sword is already screaming in that direction. And that may be Kurakara Ken. Now Kurakara Ken is a Japanese Buddhist dragon sword motif tied to Fudomeo. Now Fudo matters here because his normal form already carries the two objects that this weapon obviously represents, a sword and a rope. But Kirakara Ken takes that imagery somewhere much darker. In the Kirakara tradition, Fudomeo enters a spiritual contest against an opposing force. Both transform into flaming swords and neither one can overpower the other. And that detail is easy to glide past, but it may be the most important part of the whole myth. Fudo is not some minor temple mascot with a sharp object and a bad temper. He's a wrathful Buddhist deity, the immovable one, a figure tied to divine force, purification, and the violent correction of spiritual disorder. So if Fudo cannot simply crush this opponent, then whatever he's facing has to be terrifying. The legend never gives that opposing force a clean identity. All it tells us is that the opposing force was strong enough to meet Fudo sword to sword and stand on equal footing. So Fudo ends up changing form again, this time becoming Kurakara Ken, the Dragon King. The dragon coils around the opposing sword, subdues it, and then consumes it. And that's the image that this weapon...
I'm not gonna lie, man, like even like the sword hilt here, it looks kind of similar to the Fey one. Oh, I messed it up. It looks kind of similar, you know? Let me look it up while we have it here. This is a better theory, I guess, because of the Excalibur doesn't make sense for me. I mean, I totally agree. I totally agree. The thing that I've mentioned this, the thing that I don't like about this game so far is that when it comes to theory making, it makes it really difficult because you have to already know the source material to know what the hell you're looking for. Because if you don't know certain mythologies, you don't know what you're going to be looking for. Wow, look at that, bro. I don't know what this image is, but look at the hilt here. Look at the hilt here. And look at this thing. And you have the snake as well. That might actually be like the proper answer. Ooh, that might be cool, man.
Bringing us back to not a dragon decorating a sword, but a dragon swallowing one. And that detail may be hiding in the hilt itself. The dragon-like head is not facing inward toward the grip like a normal ornamental guard. It appears to face outward, away from the hilt. Visually, that makes it look like the weapon is passed through the dragon, or been locked inside it. with the head left facing outward as the visible mouth of the seal. Adding to the Japanese dragon imagery, Rei is seen to have 3 claws. 3-clawed dragons are representative of the Japanese depiction of the mythological beast. To top all this off, phonetically, Rei sits strangely close to Ryuo, as in Kirakara Ryuo, the Dragon King. That does not prove the theory by itself, obviously, but when the same sword already gives us a dragon head, a coiling body, Buddhist-looking sacred glyphs, and a ribbon wrapped around the blade, the sound of Rei sitting near Ryuo stops feeling random, and it starts feeling like another nudge toward the same idea. If Kirakara Ryuo is the Dragon King who wraps and consumes the opposing sword, then Rei may be the game's fantasy translation of that function. If this design is borrowing from the Kirakara Ken, then the threat may not be that the wrong person could use the blade someday. The threat may be that the blade already contains something dangerous, something powerful.
I do know that the rumors before this game got announced was that like Eastern mythologies were gonna play a big role in it as well, you know? This might be it. This might honestly be like the closest thing we have to an answer, because when it comes to the Excalibur one, like we see hints of it, right? But I don't know, man. Like, and again, this could be like a sign that he's like a good at theory crafting, because like I'm getting convinced, you know. Blood's like, I called it from the start, bro. He's getting the name wrong, but interesting theory. I mean, look, it's give him a pass, you know. It's foreign names that, you know, people in the West are not very familiar with.
Would explain why the weapon feels so radioactive in the story. Everyone talks about it as if its use alone is dangerous.
But, lady, that sword, it's more than you think it is.
You don't know what you wield.
The thing is, I mean, it doesn't explain anything. This is not like a thing to like, you know, to like mess with this theory or anything like that. But the green guy does recognize it, right? But then again, it could be because like people in this realm have already used it, because Bexy already knows it as well, right? So it doesn't mean that just because the green guy knows what it is, that he's from that pantheon, like I said in my breakdown video. So it's possible, you know?
What is it? You're scared of this sword. Why?
I fear nothing.
So Kirakara gives us a more disturbing possibility. Maybe drawing that sword does not simply unleash its power. Maybe it risks disturbing the containment. The dragon, the ribbon, the glyphs, and the hilt all suggest that the weapon is built around a force that had to be contained, consumed, or held down.
Alright, time to move on to the bigger theory at large.
That's cool. I'll have to check his full video out later. If you like this theory, guys, go and check him out. Deep dive discourse, and at least give this video a like, you know? I already did. So it's an interesting theory. It's a really interesting theory, and probably one of the best ones I've seen so far. It's competing with the Arthurian mythology one, the Excalibur one. But I do believe also that the whole thing about Excalibur is that it becomes too easy. Someone does not want to make it easy for us, you know. So it's possible, you know. Excuse me. John Ford's recent video have been great ideas, great theories too. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, I've seen that he's been uploading a lot again. I know he took a break from God of War for a while, but let me see what his recent video is. I'm not gonna click on it, because I mean I want him to get his own views, you know. I mean what I mean is like I don't want to steal views from him, right? And even the other guy only watched a portion of it, right? God of War theories, Ares kills segment. Ooh, he's piqued my interest though. He's piqued my. Why does he think Ares kills segment? Wait, okay, hold on. This could be like a nice exercise for me, okay? I'm going to guess that he's going to use the mention of Ares in the God of War 1 novel, where it says that he was somewhere in Egypt rampaging. I'm gonna guess he's gonna use that, which is a cool theory. It's a cool theory, you know? Go and give him a like, guys. Do it with me. Type in John Ford and hit like on his video, okay? In fact, you know what? We're not gonna do it. I'm not gonna steal views from him by doing a reaction video, okay? Especially not when he just released a video, okay? Go and show John some love, okay? He's worked hard enough for this shit, okay? So go ahead and do it. Damien says, if it's not Excalibur, then why is there a castle? Yeah, look, that's the other thing. That's the other thing that I can't really reconcile the two. I can't really think about why. Because look, I mean, where is it, bro? This is the one that's cut off. Like, I do wish like they would release this image like the full one. I have to like go and like get other sources for it, you know. To me, this looks like a medieval castle, man. It just does. I can't help it. It just does. It looks like a medieval castle. And it's like, that kind of makes sense with the whole Arthurian mythos thing a little bit more, you know? You have the full one? Oh, man. How could you send it to me? I don't think you can, though. The thing is, I actually had to go, my wife had to go into the code of the PlayStation blog, and that's why I have so many of them that are just, like, by themselves, like PNGs and stuff, right? But it's like, none of them has the, like, the full thing. Okay, this one shows it, but it doesn't show the Egyptian one here. So it's just, it's been kind of a pain, you know? Read my super chat. Did I not read it? I thought I did. Which one is it? Oh shit, my bad. I completely skipped it. My bad, man. I didn't notice it. He says, I think Thor and Faye will meet and team up. As Thor changed his mind on Odin the last moment he died, Thor will come back because he is on the mural. I mean, this would be like the best place to make Thor return. And you're right. It could be an interesting dynamic that the last time they saw each other, they were enemies, but now Thor has changed, you know. So, and I don't think Thor, does Thor know that love? I mean, technically he would, because Kratos had his her axe, so it kind of makes sense. But it would be cool, yeah, if like you get a new dynamic, you know, they get a new dynamic of characters, and like another thing is that Tyr is gonna be involved in the story as well, and that one I don't know how it's gonna fit. I prefer the Thor one more because Thor did die. Tyr died only temporarily, I think. Man, it's really coming down. It's raining like crazy here. But yeah, I like that theory. I think Thor is very likely to come. I don't think it's just gonna be Greek gods that we're going to see. We're gonna have to see. Santa Monica has to cater to both sides of the fandom. Okay, so we're probably gonna get Ares, and from the North side, I'm assuming we're probably gonna get Thor. You know, and Thor is automatically more interesting than any other god here because he's had this conflict with Faye before. So I see that as happening. I see that as being somewhat likely, you know. Why did Baldur was sent to find Faye? Odin was up to something. I think Odin was just trying to start Ragnarok because again, Odin is all about like controlling the variables of Ragnarok, and he's like, oh, I gotta create Fimbulwinter, and the only way that happens is if I promise Baldur that the giants are gonna have a cure for his ability to not feel anything, right? We got Golden in here. Past, present, and future. We could very well learn about things we'll do in future games as Kratos or maybe even Atreus. Like, what if we hear a god say they died from the hands of Atreus? Yes, that I love that idea. I love the idea of the concept of the block universe. I think that time itself is very misunderstood by us, and everything is just has the same equal standing and importance. Past, present, and future. Everything is the same thing. And I like that concept to be explored in a game. It does make the story complicated because of that, but you could also heavily tease some things. Like you said, oh, my son killed this god? How? Right? It could be, they could do some really interesting things like that. And you also get that moment, in the, well, here it happens, yeah, but the most watched moment, by the way. I think it's the most watched one, isn't it? This moment.
Hey, we'll take it. Now let's get out of here.
Okay. Get ready.
Love this shit.
Wait! Not a good idea. Bad idea.
Man, it's really raining. I don't know if you guys feel the thunder. That's such an odd moment, man. That's such an odd moment. I feel like that's Kratos from the future. People are matching that moment up from moments in the Norse saga. I think that's something that's gonna happen in the future. And Santa Monica is already like teasing us. They're teasing us with it. You know, Lord, it's raining like crazy, bro. I'm honestly afraid that the power is gonna go off, and I apologize if it ends suddenly, because it's because of that, you know. So my bad if that happens in advance. I think it has the 2018 armor though. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard another theory that it's actually Odin in disguise because he doesn't have the Leviathan axe. Like, that's also interesting. It's the 2018 armor. Yeah, it is. It really is the 2018 armor. And that would be a detail that Santa Monica, I feel like, would be aware of. I don't know, man. Because look, there's another question when it comes to Kratos that I find interesting, and I talked about this last time. I find it interesting that in God of War Ragnarok, there's gaps to the story already, because there's two protagonists, and it naturally has to say goodbye to one to follow another one. So when Atreus goes to Asgard, what is Kratos doing those days? What is he up to? When he comes back from Ironwood, Kratos says, "You were gone for 3 days." Like, what if we're going to see, thanks to the Fae game, we're going to see those gaps being filled? What if that happens? Because Christopher Judge, he needs to have new lines of dialogue. Otherwise, he wouldn't be coming back. And he said it that it's like, oh yeah, our thing. He's going to be in this thing. He's going to have new dialogue. At least if that's the game he was talking about. It's going to be an insane plot twist if, like, in a couple of months we also get the God of War Egypt announcement. Don't get hyped up. I highly doubt that. I very much doubt that that's going to happen, you know? But if it's not that, then it means that Christopher Judge is going to be in this game, you know? The full image is on PlayStation France's Facebook website. Oh, wow. Let me check that out. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. Let me, I don't know why I'm using... God of War... Laufey... France... PlayStation France, it should have been. Are you sure? They seem to be using the same images as the American one. Are you sure? I don't see it though. Because I mean, this one's missing like the Egyptian side and the trees on the sky thing. So I'm not sure about that. I'll check it out later. I'll check it out later for sure. Oh, Facebook. Did he say Facebook? Oh, Facebook. My bad. Well, that one I will have to... You guys hearing that? You guys hearing that shit? It's getting bad here, man. What's going on in Nashville, bro? Bro, he said Facebook. My bad. My bad, guys. My bad. I'm gonna... Here, I'll... What I can do... But this is... You guys are gonna see... France, God of War, Laufey. I messed this up again. Facebook. Okay. Here, I'm gonna go to Big Face in case it reveals like my Facebook page. I don't want to be showing you guys that. Give me just a moment. Here it is, I think. Hold on a second. Let me get it. Can he come in? Thor, can he come in for a drink? It's really bad. I don't know why it's this bad. No, it also seems to be cut. You can kind of see a little bit of it. That's why, like, it's weird. They kind of botched this whole thing. I'll check it. I'll try to look for one later, but it's not important because I am able to get both sides. I just get to get 2 images for it. It's annoying, you know. Let me yeah, I'm in Big Face. I'm still there. Keep a theory. Zeus is not Kratos' real father. No, that's not likely. That's not. No, I don't think that's it, you know. Please tell me that sword won't just be a one-off weapon. It's so sick. You talking about the sword that Faye has? I mean, it seems like it's gonna be her main weapon in the series. I do like it that Santa Monica is keeping like each like the identity is kind of separated but still the same, you know. Like you get the Blades of Chaos in the Greek saga, the Leviathan Axe in the Norse one, and then in the Fae game you get this cool looking sword as well. It's interesting, and like they always find like interesting new mechanics to keep the combat fresh. I'm really interested in that mechanic where she pushes the soul out of the enemy's bodies, and she attacks the soul, and then throws them at them. That could be really cool. That could be really cool, mechanic speaking. I'm overall excited for the game. I am. I think another reason why they gave us the jump button is because it's also going to be open world. That's one thing that sucked in Ragnarok, man. It's such an open game, but you have such a limited tools of traversal. Like, they made getting up ledges quickly, right? But you still can't jump. You have to go on those like predetermined paths on the wall. Like, it's so annoying, man. But if they gave her the ability to jump, you now have like more ways of getting around the environment as well. Anyway, it's so cool, man. Do you think the hold on a second. Do I think the green boy is linked to Atreus? Their voice sound the same. I don't think it's the same actor though. You know what's, now that you mentioned the whole voice actor thing, you know what's really interesting that someone mentioned this to me? Jack Quaid both voices the cube in the Laufey game, but he also voices Atreus in Sons of Sparta. And the guy was like, "Is it possible that they're connected?" I'm like, "I don't think so, but it is an interesting connection between the two." It's like, if you think about it, they do sound the same, you know. Did you talk about the gate? I think it's confirmed that the gateway was not open until Faye came in. Do you think that we see the gateway open again when Baldur, Heimdall, and Thor and Odin dies? I don't know, but see, you're kind of thinking of the everyone as being on the same clock as God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. Excuse me. Everything seems to be pointing in the direction that time does not work the same in the everyone. That it's all happening at the same time. However, I think it's gonna give Faye the ability to go into different times. So she might be able to go to the Greek time, but she could also go to the Norse time as well. She could also be going to the future, like after, you know, Odin dies in Ragnarok. I think that's what happens. I think that's what's gonna happen, you know. Could it be that she's just imagining Kratos like he was imagining Athena? I don't think so. I think there's something there that Santa Monica's not telling us. Oh, what happened? I messed up. I think there's something to that. My theory is that it's going to be something that Kratos will do in the future, because he seems to be there. He seems to be aware that he's there. Let me read like some of the other comments I was reading before. In the Q&A thing. I'll probably end the Q&A now because I got. Well, if I end it, I'm wondering if is it gonna get rid of it? I hope not. Anyway, what if we find out how Tyr dies and Faye helped him back out of the afterlife with a mission to be the one to blow the horn, calling the serpent, but he's then captured by Odin when trying to escape? I didn't think about that. I think this story is only gonna be really awesome if you do get stuff like that where it connects to the Norse saga. This was the best. You know, people gave me shit with God of War Ragnarok when it came out. The whole thing was like, "Oh, you're just disappointed because your theories didn't come true." And I'm like, that line, that argument bothered me so much, bro. Because right now you're seeing that all of my theories have essentially been wrong, okay? The Demiurge, probably wrong. What I thought the higher plane of existence was, probably wrong. You know, the idea that we're gonna get a Faye prequel game, not fully wrong because they were considering it, but still wrong, you know? And then you get this announcement and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to drop these toys and go play with this one, because this is a much more interesting concept. The idea that we can explore the moments in the Norse saga with Faye in this afterlife of the gods. Oh man, you guys sold me on it. Completely, you know. Keep on taking L's, but not really. I don't care. That's the point. My theories come as a result of me being a fan and just being interested in the story. What I really wanted was like for Santa Monica to do something with him, right? But it's possible that, you know, that side of my dislike of God of War Ragnarok, that's not the only thing I dislike about Ragnarok. I dislike a lot of things, right? But that side of like, it just feels kind of, oh, okay, this is where it was all leading up to. That could be something that could potentially change in the future, because we could get that connection to God of War 2018 and in between 2018 and Ragnarok in this game. We could get that. This game could be, you know, the Ghost of Sparta, but even better than the Greek saga. Oh, I just made Flasher real mad because that's his favorite game right there. where my mind is at is that the moment Faye is going to the everyone, it's not the same. It's not the moment she died, but the moment Kratos set fire to the pyre. Yeah, that too. Yeah, someone was bringing that up. There's like, oh, it's the moment when her body is actually consumed by the flames. But I don't know. I also think that there comes a point that lore can't answer everything. There's gotta be a point that's like, no, it just dramatic. Like for dramatic effect, it just makes sense to be like, oh, you see it. Her body burns. You follow the ashes. You get to do the no cut camera, and then like you get to see that transition. It's much smoother, right? So it's like, I don't know if that one has a lore reason so much as like that's just how we're showing to depict this moment. But yeah, it's canon now that it's after she gets burnt. Well, I mean, things could be subject to change. We don't know that, but it seems that that's gonna be the intro. I kind of hope that they keep this intro how they're showing it to us. Unlike 2018, I don't know if I want them to change anything about it. I really like the pacing of it. Like story pacing wise, it's really good. Again, there's walkie-talkie sections in it, but I'm okay with, I mean, on second playthroughs it's still gonna be a pain, right? But I'm okay with walkie-talkie sections as long as the talking itself is interesting. If they're getting me with a hook with the story, I'm for that. Because like from the moment this game started, it just got me, man. It's got me like 2018 or Ragnarok hasn't, like it's not the same. This one I'm like, okay, you got me with this plot. I want to see how Faye gets out of this realm. I want to see how that happens. The title screen will be different. Maybe her body in Midgard. Probably, yeah. Give the Greek fans a little something by starting the game with like the half face, but you don't see her face, but you see her face wrapped in the cloth, right? And she's being picked up, and then you see what we saw in the demo. That could be awesome, It could also be really interesting if we well, no, that wouldn't be interesting because we already know what happened before that. I was gonna say it would be interesting if we get to play as Kratos before the Faye game. We're like, nah, it wouldn't be. Look, I'll be honest. I've heard rumors that Tyr is gonna be a playable character, and I really don't want that. Don't be making the same mistakes you did with God of War Ragnarok. This dual protagonist shit rarely works in games. Like I don't think there's a single game that I'm like, all right, this is awesome. In games you need to be following a protagonist from beginning to end. It just makes more sense pacing wise, and I don't want that to be the case. Kuba, why do you think Odin sent Baldur after Faye? Didn't Odin think she was something? Didn't Odin think she knew something about the mask? He did not. What did Faye know about the mask that Odin did not? I mean, this could be things that they get added onto, right? But Faye was more. Odin sending Baldur to Faye was more, I think, because he wanted to maintain the prophecy. He was controlling the prophecy, so it would come true, so that he could have control over it. I made an Odin video like a couple of months back. Check it out. It kind of goes into that, Tyr said Laufey. That would be Mayo. That would be under the Mayo who called her Laufey. Never gonna forget that. Is there any chance that Deimos show up in the God of War Laufey? Laufey. Well, we didn't see Deimos in Hades. It's possible that he still went there, but Hades itself, the realm, makes it really interesting in God of War 3 because Kratos released all of the souls, and I always wonder like what happened to all of those souls. But now that question becomes even more interesting because if Deimos did go to the underworld, where he would have gone, where did he go then? Could he have ended up in the Everyone itself? That could be interesting. There's so many things. There's so many things that they could do with this game, man. Yeah, what if the Everyone can manifest things from the thoughts? There are a lot of different areas and structures that look from different myths. Kratos wears that last armor Faye remembers. Oh, I see what you're saying. So it could be. I mean, look, the whole armor, the Kratos armor thing in that moment in the Faye game could be because it is a memory and that's how she remembers him, right? That could be like a nice interpretation of it, right? But I think that they're building it up too much. It's similar to the who blew the horn thing. I think that it doesn't have a calm and reasonable answer. I think the answer is going to be really cool. And yeah, maybe they're choosing that armor because that's Kratos' base armor in the Norse saga, how he started, And I think it would make it too obvious if he's wearing something else, like something different in that scene. Like if he has the cape from God of War Ragnarok, it would make it too obvious. So they kind of keep it vague. So we ask these questions, right? So yeah, you know, it's a lot, man. I wonder when the game is gonna release. I really wonder when this game is gonna release, because I hope it's not too long. I hope it's not that long. I know they're probably gonna avoid the GTA release date, obviously, right? But it would be nice if we get it like early 2027. That would be a dream, you know. That would be a dream. Titans. Someone said the Titans go to the everyone itself. They are gods too, right? Yeah. Look, the Frank, fucking Frank, bro. You gotta blame Frank for this, because he's the one who started this. Already the game is not out, and we're already hating on Frank. Okay. But Frank says, "Oh yeah, this is the afterlife of gods." It's not just that. It's not just that. It's the place world magic returns to. So anything. This could mean Titans. This could mean, you know, magical scars like Deimos has. This could mean like magical weapons, like powers from the Greek saga. They would be here, stuff like that. It's world magic returns to. That's the thing, you know. That's the thing. So yeah, it's so that I think it's a manifestation of Faith's memories. She remembers him without armor. So this is a theory that's now it's gaining traction. That it's like, oh, it's just a memory. But I'm like, I think there's more. I think there's more. You know, I wonder how much Barlog wrote on this game. I wonder too, and that is one thing that concerns me a little bit. Not that much though, because it's not the same as God of War 3. In God of War 3, he was going in a completely different direction compared to what, you know, the direction that Stig eventually took us in, right? But then Corey left. Here is different. Corey's still in the team. It's not that he left and left Ariel to do everything from scratch, you know. So I also wondered that, but I feel a little bit optimistic that we're still going to get Corey's, you know, vision for it. I wonder, man. I wonder if Corey will be directing another game. I know there's a rumor that says that he is, right? But I wonder if I want Corey back, bro. I love Corey. Corey is like the top writer in the series for me. He's the one that has given the series that identity, you know, when it comes to writing, at least. I'm like, yeah, we kind of need that back, you know. But who knows, man? I think if done right, this could be the Laufey game could be one of the most interesting stories we get in a God of War game. Like the premise already has me, bro. It has grabbed me by the balls, and it won't let go, man. It won't let go. So will we see Magic Johnson? Well, what? Magic Johnson in the... Who the hell is Magic Johnson? Hold on, that sounds familiar. Well, let me look that up. Who's Magic Johnson? Let me hard it so I know that I read it. Is that a boxer? That sounds like a boxer. That's a basketball. I knew it was sports. American basketball player and entrepreneur. Yeah, okay. I was close, okay? At least I didn't say, is he a musician? I knew that it was sports related. I just didn't know which one. I've said this multiple times, guys, but I'm someone who is... I don't know about that because I've gotten kind of fat now. But I used to be really good at sports. I just don't watch them. Okay, I don't know who the top basketball player is. I don't know who's playing in baseball these days. I don't care about that stuff, okay? But I do play that stuff, and I do enjoy playing them a lot. So don't make fun of me for not knowing who like the top basketball player is, okay? Want to check out the trailer breakdown for the Doom DLC, Horde mode gaming. Just okay. Let's just check that out. I know you guys are more excited about the Fae thing, but I think we've talked about the Fae game plenty. Okay, let me check it out. I think I watch Horde gaming a lot. Let me see. Doom. We can do that. Yeah. Horde gaming. Okay. DLC trailer breakdown. It's 11 minutes. We can do it. It's not that bad. Let me go back to desktop. Because I love God of War, man. But Doom, bro, oh my god. These right now are like two series that I'm very much follow. Oh my, wait a second. Is he wearing the Praetor suit here already? Oh my god. I think he's wearing the Praetor suit right here.
The Dark Ages DLC trailer changes absolutely everything. From major blink and you'll miss it enemy reveals to our first glimpse at the Wretch's full design, nothing will be the same after this video. So let's get straight into the full Doom the Dark Ages Revelations trailer breakdown. Today we'll be covering all of the new demons, levels, combat elements, and surprising lore developments that were packed into the reveal. But first I wanted to kick things off with the most interesting part of the trailer.
I know I mentioned this in the reaction, man, but I really like the idea of a spear. That's one of my favorite things in Ghost of Sparta, just throwing spears. It's such a fun mechanic, you know?
Massive surprise reveal that the DLC is introducing playable classic Doom flashback sequences. We don't see much of them in the trailer, but what's present tells us a lot. The first clip shows Doomguy fighting through Mission 2 Underhalls from Doom 2, which appears to have flat, classic textures instead of the full 3D environments featured in the other flashback segments.
This has to be like one of those like secret levels that you find in Doom 2016. There's no way this is gonna be part of the story. Some of the flashbacks do seem like they're gonna be like more story focused, but this one just seems like one of those like secret levels you find in it, you know?
Clear why this specific environment is visually distinct in comparison to the Earth levels, but it may suggest that Doom 2016's retro bonus maps are returning as optional secrets.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
Dedicated flashbacks. The second classic gameplay clip shows Doomguy equipping the shotgun.
Yeah, these I know this is his breakdown, but I'm doing it as I go on. These ones seem more like flashback sequences, and that's really interesting. That's really interesting because that's one question that we've had since 2016, like that connection from like old Doom to Doom 2016, and we're getting it here. We're gonna see him back on his Earth dimension because it's a completely different dimension than the Earth we saw in Doom Eternal. It's so interesting, bro.
Back on his original Earth, we get a good look at both the new classic gloves that have been modeled specifically for Dark Ages and the fully modernized shotgun, which has the iconic IDKFA cheat code etched onto the right side. While the environment itself is nothing special, it's worth noting that they have kept classic Doom's cramped hallway level structure even in these segments with modernized graphics. The final classic segment depicts the Slayer having an active flashback to what appears to be a hospital setting. 3 monumental reveals are shown during this incredibly brief segment. First, we learn that Flynn Taggart is Doomguy's official canon name, as what's likely a fellow Marine yells for him to stand back. Next,
oh, I didn't catch it in the trailer. Oh, damn.
Next, we see a child shrouded in shadow holding a plush toy. The final shot reveals that the girl is actually holding a stuffed Daisy, hinting that this could very well be our first ever look at Doomguy's daughter, who will no doubt be killed during Hell's invasion.
I called it. I freaking called it. I made this is one of the theories that I think I got right about Doom. Check it out. I talked about how we could see the return of his wife and kid. Look it up. I made a video about this. A couple months back.
Before moving on to all of the new enemies, I wanted to quickly mention that a prototype version of the Doom 2016 Predator armor does make an appearance in the gameplay portion of the trailer. The gauntlet undeniably resembles the one worn by the Slayer during the UAC Mars base event. However, the shift in color, alternate finger plates, and
oh yeah, it's missing the numbers, which was one of those weird things. I'm like, was it like created on Earth or something? It doesn't have the numbers.
Chainmail between the joints indicates that it's an earlier version of the suit built from the remnants of his destroyed Dark Ages Sentinel gear. We can actually see the wretch building the suit, but we'll discuss that more later on in the video. 7 brand new enemies and 4 variants of existing Dark Ages demons were introduced in the trailer and key art.
You know what's also interesting? Why does the spear turn green? We've seen Argent energy depicted as being red and blue, I think, but never green. And I noticed that the spear turns green for like a brief second sometimes, you know? He had a boy in Eternal, by the way? What do you mean he had a boy in Eternal? I don't think he did. Doomguy?
Favorite nuisance, the Archvile, has returned, which was previously announced by game director Hugo Martin during an episode of Slayers Club Live. Its design is a more hellified take on the classic sprite, and it can be seen performing the iconic raised arm pose in both the trailer and key art, which does make me feel like this iteration of the Archvile may adapt the moveset of his original counterpart. A never-before-seen enemy that's currently unnamed pops up several times throughout the gameplay footage. This is one of the most unique demons we've seen from Dark Ages so far, as it sports a heavy shield, integrated rocket boosters, and a mechanical javelin arm while
I love these games, man.
To traverse the environment.
I love these games. Like this is more like they first come up with like cool ideas for the game, and they're like, how do we fit this into the lore? Where in God of War it feels different now. They're like, they come up with the story, and they're like, how do we fit this into the gameplay, right? And it's like, these guys are like yeah, these games are fun, man. I don't really get the hate that Dark Ages got. I thought it was still really good. And I don't know, like, this DLC really does seem to be, like, enhancing everything about it.
Spectre variants of the Whiplash and Revenant make brief appearances at various points alongside what I believe is the uncloaked version of the new Nightmare Revenant. The Pain Elemental returns with a wicked cosmic remix of its standard design, and with it has come otherworldly variants of the Lost Souls. It was previously confirmed that the narrative will feature more immersive first-person cutscenes similar to those found in Doom 2016.
Nice.
And this Pain Elemental cutscene seems to confirm that enemy introductions will be reintroduced as a part of that. The unused wizard character from the game's concept art has made it into the DLC as an intimidating new foe called the Warlock, which seems to be another completely original heavy demon that will surely give even the most seasoned slayers a worthy challenge. It's presented as a sort of summoner in the initial concept art, so I do wonder how they'll differentiate him from the Acolyte and Archvile. It's difficult to determine exactly what's being shown, but I believe we can see a Prowler being roasted over a fire in the Wretch's Forge. This doesn't mean that Prowlers will return as actual enemies though, as this may just be a cool Easter egg.
Who the hell is the Wretch, bro? Who the hell is the Wretch? It's just a demon that turned against him or something? I'm sure we're gonna find out. I'm sure we're gonna find out here, but it's interesting. See, reads the guys right below me and ignores me. You too, Brute? You're gonna be like this too? Come on, blood. You know this, man. Kuba loves games 2016. I am eating so good right now, bro. I can't take all of these delicious games right now, man. Like, there's so much stuff. And I feel really bad because I haven't continued playing Mina the Hollower. I was loving it, and then Fate got announced, and Doom, and now I haven't been able to play it. I might have to like restart from the beginning so I can get that momentum going again, you know? Wanna watch Kratos didn't go to everyone when he died. Video by oh, he did one? By P. Silken? Okay, I'll have to remember that. Yeah, it's P. Silken is the guy who predicted, I think, that Tyr was gonna be making a... No, that Odin was gonna be Tyr in disguise, right? I think it's him. Yeah, we'll check it out after this video, for sure.
Expansion's key art reveals a Fireborn Hell Knight that's similar in appearance to Eternal's version of the Baron, and he's standing near a reskinned Agadon Hunter who wields a giant warhammer. A few brief gameplay clips indicate that the upgraded Agadons are just as, if not more aggressive than their standard counterparts, but it thankfully looks like the Chain Spear has no problem keeping up with their attack pattern. I'll be grouping the next three characters in with what some may consider to be some pretty heavy story spoilers, so anyone who...
Give me a sec. We might be getting a tornado warning. Give me a sec. Alright, it was just talking about the rain and the storm that we're getting. Well, yeah, we get a lot of tornadoes here in Nashville, and usually when we have one of those like weather radios that tells us, and usually when the alarm goes off, it's because there's a tornado. But I think they're just warning us about the heavy rain right now. Anyway, bro is cooked. Yeah, the first time it happened, I was terrified. A tornado? Bro, we don't get tornadoes in Canada, at least not in the part that I used to live. Like, what do you mean tornadoes? You mean this house could be picked up and I could be in it? Like, what? So, yeah, no, I'm good. I remember, like, being, like, the first time when Kona told me, yeah, this is a thing here in the South. I remember just being, like, all of us being in the kitchen was like, okay, I guess hopefully the tornado doesn't do, you know, the thing tornadoes do. Anyway, let's go.
Would like to avoid having major narrative beats spoiled a month early can skip to the combat and level section of the video. Early on in the trailer, we get a handful of quick glimpses at a monstrous mutated enemy that nearly kills the Slayer in front of Hell's High Council. A promotional screenshot reveals that Belias, the Hell Priest who reported Prince Azric's progress during the campaign, is standing in the exact same spot as the unidentified creature who mutates into the giant that defeats the Slayer. One frame of the trailer shows that our mysterious monster has 4 fingers and a skeletal face with long hair, just like Belias, possibly suggesting that we'll have a boss battle with a greatly empowered version of the character early on in the expansion. In a pretty surprising turn of events, it seems like we'll also have a full boss fight against a Maker-controlled version of Merrick, the Betrayer's son.
Oh, that's Merrick? No, that's Merrick?
Fight against a Maker-controlled version of Merrick, the Betrayer's son. He charges towards the camera with a parryable attack while wearing the same chestplate device that allowed the Makers to brainwash Doomguy, making it clear that the Con Maker doesn't want the Slayer escaping from Hell. This has some pretty big implications. It primarily suggests that the Khan is the one who set the Slayer up to fall at the hands of the High Council, but it could also imply that we'll witness the very start of the Argenta Civil War after the Slayer inevitably returns to Argenta Nor and reveals that the Khan has taken control over one of the Sentinel Army's most prominent soldiers in an attempt to silence their hero.
I'm hoping that's the case, man. I'm really hoping that's the case. One of my biggest fears with the DLC was that they were gonna kind of skip a little bit over the Argenta Civil War. I'm like, nah, you gotta keep that in the lore. Like, you gotta give that its due, man. And I'm hoping like they do a game in that it's kind of like Ragnarok, if you will. It's just Ragnarok, but in the Doom universe, like the Argenta Civil War. Oh man, I'm glad that I'm hopeful they leave with that, and maybe they make a game about that later on, because that could be really cool.
The final character shown during the trailer is the Wretch himself, who appears to be voiced by Darren DePaul. Most people are probably already aware that you can catch several glimpses of the character's arms, including a scene where he begins to forge what is likely the prototype Praetor suit. But what most people haven't noticed is that you may actually be able to see his full design. During the scene where the Slayer picks up the chain spear in the Wretch's forge, you can spot a hooded figure with multiple limbs crawling out from a hole in the top right corner of the screen. We already know from other scenes that the Wretch has more than just 2 arms, and it seems like the forge is a safe zone, so it's incredibly likely that we're seeing the Wretch here. Furthermore, the new key art features a hooded spider-like creature with multiple limbs that isn't featured anywhere else in the
That's probably it.
potentially providing the community with an even better look at the Wretch's design.
That's probably it.
Major special thanks to Icon of Simp for bringing that to my attention.
Icon of Simp.
I likely would have missed it if it weren't for his suggestion. Moving into the levels and combat, it seems as if the Wretch's Forge is the new hub and not the Creedmaker's ship like we had previously theorized. And this area is presumably connected to Hell's Core, the first of 5 total levels spot.
Oh, we got Mayo here, bro. How's it going, Mayo? How happy are you, bro? Your boy got announced, huh? Your boy got announced. How excited are you, man? I hope the war and the betrayal take the center in the DLC or in a future game, because I feel like the Argent Civil War, like, that deserves its own attention. Like, it can't. That was one issue I had with the Ancient Gods DLC, that the whole big reveal, you know, of oh, I'm forgetting his name now. The other Doom guy, you know, the big devil guy. God damn it, what's his name, bro? I'm forgetting his name. I'm blanking out. I just felt like that was such a big plot point, and they just kind of brushed it over in the DLC so quickly. I'm like, nah, this needed its own game, you know. I did a combat video. Want to call me in? I mean, we can if you want to. Let me watch this first, okay? I do have to get to some phase stuff that we gotta talk. Let me finish this video, okay?
In the trailer. One area of note that I would like to highlight is this cave that features Maker technology, which is an odd thing to see in a level this deep within the underworld, so I wonder if it relates to the Khan's deal with Hell. The second level shown in the trailer, Osius, makes several appearances during the various arena fights. I couldn't find anything of note within these petrified bone sands, however it does seem like the environment from the previously revealed concept art does show up around the middle of the trailer. Several shots of what is likely the DLC's first chapter are present during the introduction, implying that we may fight through a pretty standard Hell mission before being sent down to the core. The Slayer will unsurprisingly be returning to the Cosmic Realm at some point during his quest of ascension. One of the trailer's most mysterious clips depicts Doomguy inserting a Maker device into a cosmic contraption, which may relate to the broken Maker.
Oh my god, guys, it's Frank. Look at him, it's Frank. Bunch of cubes.
Technology lying around Hell. The final level shown is set on Argenta Nor, home of the Sentinels. Only a single gameplay segment takes place in this environment, leading me to believe that it may serve as either a small portion of a larger chapter or even as the final mission, explaining the secrecy surrounding the map. The combat is easily the most impressive element showcased in
All right, for this, I mean, I love Critical Horde. You know, I know he talks about like give him a like, okay, subscribe. I don't know, I'm not subscribed to him yet. Like this is the guy that I go for like Doom like updates and stuff. So definitely check his stuff out. But I guess like we can talk with Mayo for a little bit, like see what he thinks about the game and stuff. Give me just a sec. I'll call him in. I'll summon the mayonnaise in. I messed that up. Let's see. Oh, it opened up now. Good. Mayo. Where's Mayo? There we go. I hope he's still here. There you go. Frank traumatized Cuba. You bet your butt. Can you hear me, Mayo? Hey, man. Hey, what's up, man?
I've been taking a nap.
You were taking a nap?
Yeah, I'm up just for you in my robe.
What do you want to talk about? You said you wanted to call.
Oh well, I mean, you're talking Doom. I mean, I'd be here. It feels a little irresponsible of you. Honestly.
It's like copywritten material. I gotta consult you for that, huh? So what do you think about it? What do you feel about the Doom reveal? Did you even think it was gonna be shown?
I mean, it's been over a year at this point. We've been getting impatient. So, I mean, I wasn't surprised that it came out. It felt like it was about time for something to come out.
Yeah, because they had the Slayer Club a couple of weeks back, and Hugo was like teasing this, like, oh, we're gonna show you something, and they just showed like an art, which was cool, but I was expecting a little bit more. But so I was hoping that we would get the Doom reveal, but I'm glad that it finally did. But you know, what do you think about it? Do you like it so far? Well, you have any concerns? I know you go very deep into the gameplay stuff. You know, do you have anything to say about that?
God,
I mean, I should say that he does have a video on it if you guys want to check it out. I'll check it out later. I just wanted to watch the trailer beforehand. But go ahead, take it away.
Concerns? I mean, not from a trailer like this. I mean, if I were to have concerns, it would probably come from maybe source story stuff. But I don't follow the story that closely ever since the Ancient Gods Part 2. I kind of checked out of the story after that.
Right.
But I am excited to see that we're finally getting into the Betrayer and his son, and the Argent Civil War. I mean, that was my favorite stuff about the lore, so I'm glad we're getting into that. That's pretty cool. This dream sequence stuff, or whatever it is, like going back to Doom 2, I don't know what the hell that's about. But I mean, some of that stuff is exciting. I really like the Con Maker. I'm glad to see her. And I don't know, I'm excited about more levels and the changes to combat and new AI. And I'm looking forward to hopefully maybe a 8-hour campaign expansion would be really nice.
Yeah, that's one thing that I didn't like about the Ancient Gods DLC. That, I mean, they were two, and if you put them together, like they're a pretty nice length, but I didn't like how short each of them was, right? So I'd much rather have like a much larger experience and just kind of get it over with in one go, you know?
Sure. And, well, also, to be fair, those were two DLCs that were made in the first year of a global...
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
They were Hugo himself told me that they were working at about 35% production capacity for at least 2 years.
Yeah, it was back then when you would have to work from home, I think, right?
Yeah, they were it was really hard because when you're a AAA studio of 150 plus people, updating the game and getting a build around and playtesting it and giving feedback becomes a very more bureaucratic process.
Right.
And becomes pretty limited when no one's in the same office. You imagine when you're a director of a game, you can just walk over to someone's chair
and see what they're doing.
Working on?
Yeah.
You can sit down and play what they're working on. And then when you're all at home, you have to like upload builds constantly. And so we will never know what we could have gotten with Doom Eternal support.
I mean, yeah, even on our side, like we kind of went through that as well. Ragnarok was being developed when COVID was kicking ass, you know. So
that's right.
I get that, but I mean, I do like the announcement so far. I like what I see. I am curious about it because I mean, you do deal more with like, you know, fine tuning of like mechanics and stuff, right? How do you feel about kind of this mechanic of the meat hook returning? Do you think it matches well with the combat they created for the Dark Ages, or do you think it might clash with it?
I think it looks like it's going to complement it because I highly doubt we're going to get anything like air control. And so I don't think we're gonna be like super bird-like. But I mean, hey, I could be completely wrong. People could break this thing within an hour. What do I know?
Yeah, yeah.
But if you look at the spear in the early parts of the spear combat, you'll notice that the spear is actually glowing green.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
When you kill something, or when you kill something or you parry, it turns orange, and then you get access to the armor breaking ability of it and the multi spear toss. And so all the times that they show him using the hook comes from an orange spear.
Gotcha.
And so I don't think that we have it all the time. I think it's a limited amount that has to be recharged.
So it's not something you can abuse. You have to like earn it as you will. Like just kind of
that's what it looks like.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, it looks good. It comes out on July 7th. I'm kind of sad that I probably won't be able to play it day one because I'm gonna be in the process of moving again. So I'm a little bit jelly. You're gonna get to play this a little bit early, you know, at least before me, you know. But
yeah. Did you see the spear spin?
The spear spin. I saw it when he attacked like the enemies with it like a swing. Was that it?
No. It's actually if you look at if you go to the official trailer, I mean, my video goes over this if you want to put it on later, but you guys can watch it. I have a 10-minute combat mechanics breakdown.
Yeah.
If you guys want to check this out?
I'll probably check that out later.
But if I want you to go to the part where you see the cyber demon, and it's probably about halfway through. You see an arachnotron and you see a cyber demon.
You don't have the timestamp, do you?
I don't. Probably go to about halfway through when the combat starts.
Okay.
And you'll see an arachnotron and a cyber demon. Let's see. I'm watching your stream. Yeah, tell me when you get to it.
I mean, I'm in the snowy section now where he's just like killing demons.
Yeah. I see it. It'll be coming up.
That one. I mean, he did a swing, right? Not that one.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I see what you're seeing. Keep going. You'll see it very soon. You'll see an arachnotron and a cyber demon behind him. Yeah, that's it right there.
Oh, I missed it? You said it was a...
Yeah, you went past it. When he stabbed the spear through the head, the neck of the cyber demon, go back to that scene. All right, go back to before the arachnotron is shooting, okay? So right when you see the arachnotron, okay? Then put it into 50% speed. And watch it at 50% speed, and you can see that he's actually twirling the spear in his left hand.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Oh shit.
That is the way that we're going to be reflecting those hit scan bullets. And it's powerful enough to where it's actually creating a falter state on both of these enemies, and I think that is a major key as to why we're able to spear impale the cyber demon at that point.
Oh, that's really exciting. I mean, my wife just sent me a question for you. She wanted me to ask. She says, "Ask Mayo this question for me. What is his opinion on Doom Guy's face? Forget the combat. I want to know what he thinks about his mug, like what he looks like." Do you even have an opinion on that?
He's a handsome fellow.
He does look a little bit like Guts from Berserk. That's the comparison that I get a lot.
I don't know Berserk. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize.
Sorry, Kona.
I think he looks good. I don't have an issue with them showing his face. I mean, we've seen his face since the original game down in the HUD, making pain states. So I think it's all right. I mean, he looks good, and he looks not as torn up as he does in Eternal, but this is because these are the early years of his fighting for Argent D'Nur, and he hasn't been through the fall of Earth in 2016, all that.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah,
it's cool.
I mean, you don't really get too much into theory. That's more of a thing that I do, right? But what do you think it's next for Doom? Do you think, because Hugh teased that the whole like Ancient Gods DLC that he gets placed in the coffin thing, and it's like, do you think it's gonna be like thousands of years or something, and then he's gonna come back?
God, I don't know. I mean, like, these games are so wacky at this point.
Yeah,
you could go into another dimension and go back in time. You could end up in World War I for all that's
part of the charm. You know, you're not really expecting a lot of consistency, but I was like, I'm really excited to see what they do next with it. So
You know, personally, I would be okay with a very long break from the Doom franchise.
Really?
But and a lot of people want them to go back to Quake. I don't see Quake as a financially viable IP for investing, you know, $100 million plus into a AAA game. I don't know if a Quake would do well enough to justify it. However, I do think that a Doom versus Quake game would be huge.
All right, yeah. Can I introduce the
that's
the
what I
lesser
would
known
think.
series to the other people? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I want them to officially cross into a major campaign with a badass multiplayer.
That could work. Yeah. Well, Mayo, it was nice for having you for this impromptu little conversation. I'm glad you're excited to play the DLC. You know, I'll be.
I am. I had a couple questions for you.
Oh boy,
go have some points.
Go for it. Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it.
Someone said send them back to the Wolfenstein timeline and team up with BJ. So you got some Doom fans here. They want to see some crossovers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't find my documents, so don't worry about it. Someone asked if I will marry them. You don't want that. Just trust me. You don't want that. Okay. All right. Well, I have a great stream. Goodbye, everybody.
All right. Take it easy, man. We can talk about the other stuff later. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. Take care. Bye. All right, guys. Well, that was Mayo. He does have a video. I'm not gonna watch it now because I think we've had enough. We've had enough of Doom, okay? But he does have a video breaking down the combat that I'm gonna be checking out later. He pointed out that spinning spear thing that I did not notice. I'm just excited for it. I'm just excited for it. You know. The boss is trying to talk to you, Kona. She said something about like looking up his comparison to Guts from Berserker, but like I got the sense that Mayo does not care about that. My wife and I argued a lot about that. Like she does focus a lot on like the looks in certain characters, and I'm like, I don't care that much. I mean, excuse me, that's not the most important thing. But she's very very adamant that some characters do need to look a certain way, you know. So I do agree with her. He does look a lot like Berserker, you know. But hey man, it's exciting. I'm getting God of War. I'm getting Doom: The Dark Ages. It's a good time to be a Captain Kuba gamer, you know. Kuba, check out the God of War subreddit. There's this theory about what Frank is by user Spikelazor. Let me see if I can pull it up. Pull it up, Jamie. Okay. What is his name? Spike Dick. Spike. God damn it. Okay, let me see. It's gotta be this one. Nope, that's not it. I mean, this one's gonna be hard to find. I feel like let me see. Nope, Mysterion. It's not him. This is one of those things that it would be nice to have a link for it, but again, I don't really allow links on the chat just in case, you know. I mean, she's a smart one. We knew that already. You're talking about Kona. She is very smart, man. She is very smart. Did I misspell his name? I think I did. Yeah. Is it? Hold on. Yeah, I didn't. No, I don't know if I did. Theory, Reddit. If it's popular, it should come up like as one of the first ones, I feel like, you know. Yeah, I already saw this one, the river. I mentioned this one in the in my breakdown video. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of these series, that's for sure. You're gonna get a lot of these series, you know. Something like I said on X about the date release, we will let you know as soon as we can. Yeah, I mean that's not really saying much. It's like you would kind of expect that, right? But it does seem that Jason Schreier, who's very reliable, which by the way, he has a YouTube channel now. He's always had it, but he's uploading now. So he says that this game definitely will not be releasing in 2028, which is really cool. It's really cool that we're gonna get a 2027 game, and this is technically the first PS5 exclusive game. It was Sons of Sparta. Thank God that's not the only one we have, okay? I'm really glad that we have at least one PlayStation 5 God of War exclusive, man, because Sons of Sparta was something else. But yeah. I want them to use the powers of the PS5, and it could really go both ways. It could really become. I'm okay with the game becoming linear, like old school God of War games. I love that. I was talking to Kona about this, and it's really interesting. When the Faye game got announced, it kind of threw a monkey wrench into my downtime because I have to work on it. But whenever I would not want to do a Faye video, I would play something. And before the Faye announcement, I was playing Mina the Hollower, which is one of these, like, I kind of consider them kind of like Elden Ring, a game that drops you in and just you get to explore from the beginning. And they're really good. Like, you get to be immersed in this world. But, you know, I made the mistake of being like, hey, I think I'm going to play Dead Space 2 for a little bit. And there's just something about those linear PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2 era games that I just miss. They really don't make those games like that anymore. Trust me, people say that it's just nostalgia. It's not, because I played Dead Space recently. Play Dead Space 2. That game just draws you in. Like, it's such a fun ride. And I'm okay if Santa Monica decides to make the Faye game a fully open world game. I'm okay with that. I think it's gonna have some issues with the replayability, obviously, right? But you know, it's two strong concepts. You could go like full in with an open world, but also you can go full in linear and just make it a roller coaster of a movie, you know. Santa Monica can do a lot of things now since the game is on PS5 only. Yeah, that's one thing that I think was being held back a lot in Ragnarok. Ragnarok is still a beautiful game, but I feel like technology-wise it was being held up. Like a lot of the things like you couldn't really do, you know. We wanted this boss fight of Thor on top of Jormungandr, and they could probably do that if they remove some things from the game. I don't know what I mean. You know. But you know, with the PS5 now, I can see this game getting back some scale, some much needed like big scale boss fights like Kronos or Poseidon. That's very much part of the God of War identity. Something else that really has me hyped about this game is that Ariel Lawrence says that, of course, Laufey is not like, she doesn't fight like Kratos, you know. She has like, she's more. It's interesting. This actually could work really well. We're gonna get both parents before we get Atreus. We're gonna get how Kratos fights, and then we're gonna get how Faye fights, and then we're gonna get how the son fights, which might be a mixture of the both. It sounds like Faye is gonna be more of a, almost like a trickster, that she's gonna like find ways of getting around, you know, in combat. I'm like, that's really cool. That's really cool. Dean says big animal from the trailer is definitely a boss. Oh yeah, you cannot show a big creature like that in a God of War game and not expect me to fight it. Jormungandr was the exception. But I think I also thought we were gonna fight it. At least I was hoping we would. But anyway, that's not a big deal. I love Jormungandr. But yeah, I think we're definitely gonna get like big boss fights. And the part of the, I'm kind of talking about it as if this game is open world. We don't know this for a fact yet, but I really like the idea. Let me turn on the music again. I really, when it comes to the open world part, I would love the idea of just exploring, and yeah, you come into this open area, and from the lake or something, like you see a monster come out of it, and you're in it. You're in a boss fight, and you're like, I'm sold. This world is amazing. And then you learn the backstory for this character. I'm sold, man. I'm sold with this thing, you know? Do you think Who Blew the Horn will be answered in this game? Yeah. I think so. I don't mean to get you guys hyped up unnecessarily, but I think this is the game to make it. We were talking, Morse and I were talking about that last night. I'm sure he doesn't mind me showing you guys his messages, you know? Let me see. Morse, he's discovered other things, I see. Hold on a second. Anyway, I'll simplify it, but yeah, Corey said about the mystery of Who Blew the Horn in 2018 that, think about it, someone was following them. Who do you think it was? And people immediately jumped on the Baldur misdirection. It was a misdirection, bro. It was him trying to trick you into thinking that it was Baldur because he technically was following Kratos and Atreus. But it doesn't make sense because Baldur doesn't speak the serpent's language. It was Faye, bro. Now we see that this game is gonna take place parallel to God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. Dude, this is the game where we're going to get who blows the horn moment. It's gonna be this one. I just know it, man. Damn you, Corey. No, I'm not gonna say damn you. I mean, it seems like it was part of the plan, you know. That's the part that's exciting, you know. What is up with Modi fighting on our side for Ragnarok mural? Do you think that will come back at some point? I don't know. That was one of my favorite pre-Ragnarok theories, and nothing really came of that. You know, it was one of those theories that I'm like, I feel like they might have been teasing something here, but it's one of those things that got cut. I can't confirm that in any way, but I get that vibe. I get that vibe that that was gonna be a much bigger part in the story, and it just wasn't. So, I was a little bit sad, but I feel like now that might be a little bit too late. Might be too late to start adding Modi into the story. But then again, if he died somewhere and didn't go to Valhalla, that's where he would go. We also have that question of like, at least in the Norse saga, Mimir technically says that, yeah, the gods do go to Valhalla after they die, right? So why would they be coming to the Everywhen? The Valhalla is still intact, as we saw in the DLC. Why aren't they going there? You know, luckily enough, in the DLC, they made Valhalla a personalized afterlife, where it's like, no, this is like it takes from your memories and it projects them back at you, right? So we're not really seeing Magni and Modi there. Those are just memories that Kratos has, right? But so they have some wiggle room there to be like, they actually couldn't go to Valhalla for X reason, and they went to the Everywhen. So that's exciting, you know, that's exciting. Mimir says, read mine. What did you say? What you say? It was Faye, bro. Who's Faye, bro? Did I say it was Faye, comma, bro? I don't know if there's a comma there, but you get what I mean. I don't see Mimir's comment. How long ago was it? I'm not seeing it. I'm so sorry, Mimir. Can you type it again? I'm so sorry, man. Kuba, that was not a popular Reddit post. It was only posted a few hours ago. I also recommend you directly visit God of War subreddit. Yeah, the username is... Okay, let me see. I'll look it up. God of War subreddit. God damn it. Okay, and then I can just type his name, is what you're saying? Give me a sec, guys. Spike Alazor. I don't think we're gonna find them here. No, we're just... I mean, I don't know how to... I guess I can just, like, go around the God of War subreddit and see if I find anything. Okay. Oh, we're getting some fan art now. Yeah, let's go. If we come across some not safe for work type of shit, that's on you guys, okay? It's on me, you know? Okay, come on out. Gotta go back to work. Okay, honey. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Love you. Have fun. We got Faye here. I gotta say, man, I really do like her design. Like, I do like that they still kept her, like, feminine features, but still made her somewhat muscular. I know this is more of a fan art, you know? I didn't want a Stellar Blade super hot chick necessarily, you know? It's a nice balance, I would say. I appreciate that. She's not Abby, but she's not Stellar Blade Eve either, you know? It's one of those Abby from The Last of Us, if you don't know. Let's see, who blew the horn? Of course, we're gonna be... The blew the horn thing is such a iconic moment now, you know? I've seen my comment that the Everyone is not the higher plane of existence. That's something that I'm gonna have to tackle in its own theory. Like, I'm like, because there are things that are interesting there, but I have not seen your comment, though. I'm gonna have to read all these first, you know? I want to actually read this thing, because, I mean, we got some Ragnarok enjoyer here. I think one area where Ragnarok surpasses God of War 2018 is in the antagonist. Baldur is great, he has a connection to Freya. But you know what? We're not going to resuscitate my my dislikes of Ragnarok. We're not going to do that again. I kind of did it already. We're not really going to find this here, are we? I don't think we are. I don't think we are. The hell? Alright. Alright. We're not doing this. I'm afraid I'm gonna come across some things that I'm not supposed to be seeing here, you know. I'm afraid it's gonna get demonetized. Now you have to show the Atreus quotes. Which quotes are you talking about, Morse? What are you talking about? Wait a damn minute. Frank is a cube. A cube. A cube. What other dear chat is our lore master's name? Kuba? Coincidence? I think not. That was a joke that I made when the whole all of the rumors came out, that I said, like, hey man, if you're gonna make a cube, why not call him Cuboy or Cuba or something? Like, just give me a little mention there, you know, throw me a bone here, you know. But it's okay, it doesn't have to be, you know, it's okay. I'm okay with just the story, you know. You landed on the post exactly. I did? Which one? Which one? Oh, I see it. Hold on. That's so funny. That's so funny. Okay, we go. I think I know what Frank is, okay? Ooh, it's a lengthy theory. So Frank was revealed here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see better, okay? It's not me because I'm old and I need glasses. Okay, so we're gonna be reading here. So Frank was revealed and we lost our collective minds because look at him, he's so cool and we love him. But I'm thinking we all asked the same question. What the hell is he and what mythology does he come from, okay? From the moment he was revealed, I've been doing some digging trying to figure out where he comes from. And I think I've cracked it. The devs have described Frank as a cosmic cube, which is a concept that exists solely within the confines of Marvel. No. And not within any known or established mythology. There is, however, something that gets pretty damn close. I got kind of scared when it's like, oh, it's from Marvel? What? In Judeo-Christian mythology, Metatron's cube is a piece of sacred geometry that is said to contain the building blocks of reality itself, that God used in the creation of the cosmos. Metatron uses it to watch over the flow of creation and reports what he sees to God. It is the oldest thing I could find to approximately a cosmic cube in a mythology. There's one element that makes me think that I'm on the money with it. Yahweh was originally worshipped as a god of war. It's unlikely that Yahweh or even Metatron will appear in Laufey because I highly doubt Santa Monica or Sony wants to touch that religious explosion with a 10-foot pole. I just wanted to share my feelings. Oh my god, if this guy is right, you know what it means? I didn't say Megatron, I said Metatron. Did I not say Metatron? I know who Metatron is. You know what this means, right? If this guy is right, and there's a connection to Metatron, the Demiurge is back on the table, bro. The Demiurge is fair game, okay? Gnosticism? Like, come on. We're getting close, man. My theory could still come true, bro. My theory could still come true. The Demiurge could be behind all this shit, you know? I don't know about that, son. Anyway, the Magni dialogue, Mimir says, that may be significant after Magni dies was clear setup for the scheme. I don't know. I always did find that dialogue interesting. I know exactly what you're talking about. Where Atreus says, oh, Magni didn't come back to life. And Mimir says, that is significant. It is said that the gods go to Valhalla by themselves. No Valkyrie escorts, no long waits at Hell or something. They go straight to Valhalla. And I wonder why Magni didn't go there. I wonder if he went to the Everyone. I have been thinking about that as well. We can here. I don't want to do it because I'm gonna have to hear my old voice, and I don't want it. Oh yeah, the Selkan video. I forgot about that. Yeah, we'll sing to that. Okay. I'm thinking. Just trust me. He says that in God of War 2018. I don't want to listen to my old voice. Okay. Let's just watch Pi Selkan on. I think it's how his name is spelled. Yeah, Python Selkan. On what is his theory? Oh, there we go. Okay, it's just 6 minutes. Okay, we can do this one. This one's fine. Yeah, I'll show your chat in a sec. Morse. I'm so sorry. Give me a sec.
God of War Laufey is a very mysterious game, but what most intrigued me about it is the Everyone, the afterlife of the gods across all pantheons. A place which quickly became one of the strongest highlights in the entire God of War universe.
For sure.
Afterlife of the gods. Great.
For a franchise that has seen gods killed since day one, the Everyone is a pretty big deal, even without the involvement of Kratos. The notion that deceased gods from all pantheons are united in one world is compelling to say the least, and raises plenty of important questions. Having said that, we've seen Kratos...
I gotta say, man, I love his editing. I could learn a lot from his editing. Like, it's very... How he does it, it's so smooth. I love it.
More than once throughout the series, so why have we never seen this place? Or better yet, why did Kratos find himself in the underworld instead of the Everyone whenever he was killed? And while the afterlife of the gods may initially appear as somewhat of a retcon, it actually does make sense when you think about it.
The gates of Hades have never held me!
Death cannot hold those who purpose, Kratos.
How's it going, guys? Python Selkin here. Hope you're all doing well. Whether it's the underworld, the domain of death, Helheim, or Valhalla, every mythology we've experienced so far had its own iterations of realms of the dead. As fans may know, the Greek underworld was ruled by Hades and was the realm where all mortals went after they died, including Kratos himself.
And Kratos fell into the underworld, the river Styx beckoning below, the currents strong enough to carry even the strongest mortal to his eternal resting place.
Now, of course, Kratos was no mere mortal. He was the son of Zeus and a mortal woman named Callisto, which made him a demigod at birth, half god and half human. Despite their superhuman strength and abilities, demigods are still mortal.
Oh, so he's gonna say that. I mean, I kind of suspected that. That it's like he's still part mortal, right? So I get that. The question is the big question for me is the Norse gods. It's like Mimir says that they go to Valhalla. We haven't seen them yet, so they might not even be there, you know?
Till die mortal deaths. By the time Ares killed Kratos in the first God of War game, Kratos was still a demigod, which is why he found himself in the underworld, like every other dead mortal. It was only after killing Ares and taking his throne as the God of War that Kratos ascended to full godhood.
Do not forget that it was I who made you a god, Ghost of Sparta. Do not turn your back on me.
When it comes to God of War 2, Kratos was tricked by Zeus into draining his godly powers into the blade of Olympus, stripping him of his godhood and reducing him to the demigod he once was, before ultimately being killed by Zeus himself. This led Kratos back to the underworld, where he was once again able to escape as a demigod. With regards to God of War 3, despite intentionally impaling himself with the Blade of Olympus and releasing the power of hope onto humanity, technically, Kratos did not die, since the gods prevented him from ever taking his own life. However, there are other notable moments throughout the series in which Kratos had died, such as when Kratos was killed by Charon the Ferryman, which the official guide confirms. Or
where the hell did he get that? My face might be in the way, but where did he get that thing? I've never seen this image of Charon before. Does anyone know? Can you guys see? You guys can't see because my face is in the way. I'll move my face so you guys can see it. That's really interesting. Look at this thing. Was it the manual or something? Does anyone know where he got this thing? Yeah, this editing is very good. Oh, I agree. Yeah, he's really good. Yeah. And someone said that he makes Metal Gear Solid content. I know that because my wife actually loves his Metal Gear content. So I know who this guy is. I've seen him before. But yeah, like I never seen this before. The impact kills Kratos instantly. Charon's laugh and throws him over the edge of his ship. Kratos falls off the bloody waterfall. Yeah, where does he get that? A concept art, I believe. Yeah, but Chains of Olympus didn't have an art book. Oh shit. Chains of Olympus didn't have. I did it again. Chains of Olympus didn't have an art book, so I don't know where he got it from. I'm really curious about that.
Killed by Charon the Ferryman, which the official guide confirms. Or when Thor kills Kratos in their first fight and resurrects him with Mjolnir.
Oh no. I say when we're done.
That said, all these moments happened when Kratos was a demigod. As the story lead and narrative director for God of War Ragnarok explained, Kratos remained a demigod throughout his journey in 2018's God of War, and not a full-on god, with Kratos telling it his journey into narrative director for God of War Ragnarok. Ragnarok explained, Kratos remained a demigod throughout his journey in 20.
So it's what I've been saying this whole time, that demigod, there's not a lot of distinctions between like demigods and gods in this universe.
And not a full-on god, with Kratos telling Atreus that he was.
I mean, he gets this power. At the end of God of War 2, he gets all of his godly powers back when he gets the Blade of Olympus. I don't know what Matt's over this on.
Also part mortal, a bloodline that came from Kratos himself.
So, I get that mother was a giant, which makes me part giant and part god.
And part mortal.
Right.
The truth about Kratos also came from the studio's head of creative, Cory Barlog himself, who described Kratos as a middle or late-aged demigod during the events of God of War 2018.
Kratos is a middle-aged or late-aged demigod, right? And it's the first time in his life he's starting to take responsibility.
Unlike most of his experiences with
I never saw that interview either. Wow, okay. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Underworld, Kratos did not find himself in Valhalla because he was dead, but he was allowed entry to this realm for having died at least once in the past. Same goes for Mimir. Following the cleansing of his past and the peace he sought within, the events that transpired in Valhalla ultimately turned Kratos into an actual god who should now be able to enter the Everwind if he ever dies.
Death can have me when it earns me.
While the afterlife of the gods came as a surprise to many fans, we hope this video offers clarity on why Kratos...
That's what I thought, yeah, demigods don't live that long in myth, though. That's the thing, yeah. I always thought that it was something to do with God of War 2. He became, like, you know, he was a god now, because... And even in Ghost of Sparta, Athena gives, like, you are now ready to be a god, and she does something to him, so it's like... I don't know, maybe it's just like speaking generally, they're like, he's a demigod. Technically he is a demigod. At the base of it, he's a demigod, you know? Kuba, Kratos is a full-fledged god or an artificial god since he was born a mortal and was raised to godhood by the gods of Olympus. You're asking me, right? I mean, that's kind of what we're discussing right now.
And why this setting narratively makes sense within the God of War universe. Having said that, what are your thoughts on all this? Are you enjoying the direction the series is taking with the Everwind? And do you think Faye will ever escape this place and return?
The video is good, and I'm guessing it's good for like people who, I guess, don't know as much. But I mean, Kratos himself never bother me. He was like, oh, why didn't he make it? He was like, no, yeah, because he was still like, he would still go to the underworld, the other places, right? The one that's a mystery for me is the Norse gods. But then again, we have not seen a Norse god in the Everwind yet. The Norse gods go to Valhalla. But Odin and Ragnarok is obsessed, like, what happens after I die? So it's like, I don't know, you know? I don't agree that he's now a full-on god. Yeah, I don't think anything happened in Valhalla that makes him a full-on god. You know, it's one of those things that I had the view that demigod and god in the God of War universe, the lines are kind of blurred, you know? Because even Hercules says, like, and soon I will become the God of War and claim the throne for myself. You know, it's just like, it's more like he was given the honor. It's like, you can sit here. You have the blood of a god. As little as that may be, you can be counted towards that, you know? That's kind of how I saw it. But there might be... questions like these, I feel like, might be answered in this game. It's possible because it deals with, like, you know, the afterlife of gods, even though that's not the best way to describe this place, you know? Yeah, I mean, a good video. That's Python Selkin for you right there. He does a lot of like Metal Gear stuff. I don't know if he still does Metal Gear stuff. Does he? Metal Gear is kind of dead right now. I mean, he did one month ago. Okay, he's still making... Yeah. See? He still doesn't do Metal Gear stuff. Yeah, cool guy. He makes a lot of interesting theories. He's the guy who predicted Odin. Yeah, it's it's his most popular video. Yeah, is Odin disguised as Tyr in God of War Ragnarok. He called it. He was one of those... He called it since God of War Ragnarok got announced. He's like, yeah, that's gonna be Odin, and he was right. He was pointing out, I think he pointed out like the different, like how his name was spelled in the subtitles or something. He called it, man. Okay, Morse wanted me to show you guys what exactly you want me to show you? What is it? You've been sending a lot of stuff. Which one you want me to show them? You still remember that in Sisters of Fate Temple, you see 3 images. One is war between Titans and God. The second image shows Kratos killed all gods, and the last one is still to happen. What is it? Oh, that's the the wise men, right, going to following the star of Jesus or something. I don't know if they're ever gonna touch on that. I don't know if they're ever gonna like bring that back, you know. Do you think the mask was tracking Faye when Loki was in hell? The mask was tracking Faye when Loki was in hell. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I wonder, now that you mention it, I wonder, remember when in Ragnarok when the mask takes Atreus to Garm? Remember that? It takes him to Garm. And then the mask stops working. Oh, why doesn't it work anymore? And then they have to go and go somewhere else. I wonder if Faye was related to that, you know? I wonder if it has something to do with that. Now that you mentioned that, give me a sec, because Chronicler sent me something, but I'm not sure if it's confidential. Give me a sec. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's good. I don't know if Morse is here. Is Morse here? The last one, the Twitter post. Okay, gotcha. Let me pull it up. Not this. Wait a damn minute. Was Corey quoting Atreus when he gave this hint about who blew the horn? Was it actually Faye? Did she go back in time after Ragnarok? Did she go back in time? After Ragnarok came out, he hinted that Jormungandr time traveling was influenced by something else. Sneaky bastard. So yeah, there we go. This is the quote, man. This is the quote. Everything is a misdirection. The real answer has a clue hidden somewhere out in the world, right? And then in God of War lore or in the novel it says, so if he tries, I will try. But if he does not, please come back. I know you're out there somewhere. So the I know you're out there somewhere might have been the clue that Cory Barlog was talking about. There's like, oh, I know. It's not that like, I hope you're out there. It's like, I know you're out there. So it was like Santa Monica's way of telling us, that's the everyone for you. You know, that's where we're going next, you know? Oh, I can't believe I'm not following Morse. There you go. I followed you back. Yeah, what if Odin is Frank? Oh, that's gonna be one hell of a twist, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I kind of like that guy's theory on Reddit that it said he's like he's the cube, the Metatron's cube. I'm like, that could be interesting. But the way, at least so far, it seems like he is a part of the everyone itself. That's what Ariel Lawrence said in the interview, in the IGN interview. So that, I think I'm going with the current canon answer for who Frank might be. And it's still interesting. I still think that there might be a plot twist with that character. I think something else is going to happen by the end of the game that's going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe that was him. Something like that is going to happen. But anyway, Kuba, if your Demiurge theory comes through, what do you think the Demiurge could look like? An eldritch looking creature? It would be interesting. Megatron theory. It would be interesting to know what he looks like, because I don't think, I mean, in agnosticism, like, he has like the body of a serpent and the head of a lion, something like that. It's a weird concoction thing. It just looks weird, right? So they're probably gonna, if the Demiurge is real, it might have elements of that, but they're gonna take a twist with it, like they did with Bexy, where it's like he looks almost the same, but not quite. He looks a little bit different. So something like that. You know, look up Demiurge, what he looks like, and you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here, guys. I'm gonna end it here. It has been quite fun. I might do another one of these hangouts before the end of the month or before we move. That way we can just get our final theories and then move on with life. But it's exciting, man. I'm very happy these days. I'm getting a lot of cool stuff. You know, I got God of War Laufey. I got Doom the Dark Ages DLC, which looks absolutely amazing. I'm gonna be uploading the reaction, re-uploading it for you, for the people who haven't seen it. So it's a lot of things. September is quite busy as well. It's so much, you know. I'm just kind of frustrated that I'm caught up in the middle of moving and stuff. But you know, starting tomorrow, I will start writing the my Faye video, how she got to the everyone. I have a really interesting theory that I'm so happy that I've been able to keep it, you know, quiet. I haven't spoiled it for you guys. I think I've gotten close, you know. I've gotten close, but I'll start working on that. I'll hopefully write it, record it, and maybe edit the audio so that it's nice and ready to like be edited for the full video to be edited. because realistically I only have this week, maybe some other weeks, but realistically I only have this week to really focus on working. I gotta sneeze. But anyway, I'll keep you guys posted on what I do next. But until then, guys, remember, I mean, I want to thank all of my new members. Thank you, Mohammed, so much for gifting 50 memberships. Thank you to everyone who super chatted. You guys are awesome. Thank you to all of my my members that have been here for a long time. You guys are very much appreciated, and I could not do any of this without you. I appreciate it. And anyone who watched the video, liked it and stuff, you know, the usual. You guys are awesome too, and I appreciate all of you guys. But with that said, guys, I'm gonna keep it at that. Until then, remember, go forth in the name of Olympus. Bye.